1-2 People's Talk Show. Rashid Nix up inside the studio. It's late. I know. Don't hold it against me, people. Don't hold it against me. And a long way to come from far. Took me 400 years to get here. Genesis Radio, People's Talk Show, 07931276232. Yeah, 1-2. We're still here. Eating my peanuts, drinking my Guinness. Ooh, them peanuts are spicy. Oh dear. Sound a bit slow, man. What's going on here?
Critical alert from Microsoft. Walk you through the removal process over the phone. If you close this page before calling us, we will be forced to disable your computer to prevent further damage to our network. Error number 268D3. Critical alert from Microsoft. Your computer has alerted us that it is infected by a virus and/or spyware. This virus may be sending your credit card details, Facebook login and personal
Can you believe that, man? What the hell is going on here? You heard that, right? It's just telling me that there's some madness going on and they're trying to steal my bank details. Except we ain't got no bank details. So go fish somewhere else, man, and leave us alone, seriously. What the hell is going on here? Now we can't get out of this one. Wow, this is deep.
Details.
This is deep, man. Anyway, upon that note, I'm going to play me an interview. Seriously. 07931276232. It's one of them days that I can just feel it, man. I can feel it in my bones, man. I can feel it in my bones. The gremlins are trying to attack. The gremlins are trying to attack. The gremlins are trying to attack. Yeah. The gremlins are trying to attack. Anyway, let's see what happens now. Hold on. Oh dear. Boom, 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 boom. Right. So that's that. So I can't even do anything here, man. Can't close it. Still can't close it. Wow.
This virus may be sending your credit card details, Facebook login and personal emails to hackers.
We don't have any credit card details. What's wrong with you? This is Genesis Radio, man. Chat with Brock. What's wrong with you? 07931 276232. Serious, man. The hell is the way about? The fallacy of Christmas, huh? The fallacy of Christmas. Got us running up and down, spending money that we ain't got on things that we don't need for people that we don't even like. Genesis Radio 07931276232. So whilst we try and get this this little technical issue sorted out, and it will be sorted. Don't worry yourself, people. It will definitely be sorted.
Damn.
Maybe not today.
Yeah. 1.5.
Maybe not today. Maybe not today. Maybe not today. You never know. A bit of swearing there. Little brother kicking off the show. 07931276232. Brother Rashid Nix inside the studio with a gremlin. You heard him.
You will be forced to disable your computer to prevent further damage to our network.
You hear that? That's the gremlin. He's still here. Still here. But don't worry. We saved the day, man. We saved the day. We saved the day.
toll-free number listed, so that our support engineers can walk you through the removal process over the phone. If you close this page before calling us,
I asked them a straight question and they couldn't answer the question. They said, but you know. But you know. Nothing this year. Nothing this year. Nothing new this year. You also know your objective. Hold on. I'm from a radio station, right? Hold on. I'm from a radio station. We do a talk show, yeah? And one of the things that they always talk about on the talk show is what's going on with the younger heads. What's going on? It's like they're saying that the youths don't have no direction, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. You know people just talk. Yeah. Right.
In the kid, you talk about black history.
So, I can see that you're smiling. What are you smiling for?
I'm happy that you're talking about black history, man, because nobody has really talked about this to me as much as you.
Yeah, so far.
In society so far. I'm really proud that somebody actually cares about black history.
Are you being sarcastic or are you being straight?
I'm being truthful. I'm not being sarcastic.
Alright. Can I do a quick interview with you for my radio show?
You have a radio show?
Yeah, I'm on a station called Genesis Radio. We are the #1 station going for 30 years, leading community station in the black community. And what we do is that we look at issues, serious issues, yeah? And we try to find, this guy's raised his eyebrows, what's up with this man? Are you a comedian?
No.
Okay. Right, so, you press play. Tell me one thing that you learned in your school for this Black History Month. One thing.
Slavery.
Wow. Okay. What about you? Be serious. Come on. Just focus.
Martin Luther King.
Martin who?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther the Kid.
King.
Martin Luther the King. Okay. And what about you? What did you learn? Yourself.
No. I've learned a lot about slavery again. Yeah, slavery.
Slavery. Yeah. And that's it. Slavery and Martin Luther King. And
basic stuff, like the basic stuff, like nothing towards our community, like basic stuff toward like general.
Okay. Yo, box juice, come here.
Yeah,
Quick question. What did you learn in your school during Black History Month? It's just finished. What did you learn?
Nothing.
But hold on a sec. This is a school in Brixton, right? And from what I see of your school, because I lived on the estate next to your school, and your school is about 90% black.
Yeah.
You even got a black head teacher.
No, not anymore. We had a new head teacher.
New head teacher?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But I see also you got a lot of black teachers in the school though.
Yeah, and lots of black students.
And no black history.
No.
Why are you not laughing for? Come. Why are you laughing for?
Because it's true what you're saying, that there were a lot of black students in the school and black teachers, and we haven't learned much about it.
So you got a school in Brixton with black teachers, black students, and no what?
No Black History Month.
So if you want to learn the history of yourself and your people and your culture, if the school ain't teaching it, where you getting it from? Who's teaching this stuff?
The parents.
Say that again?
Many black people are parents.
Many black people. You're a comedian, huh? All right, yo, guys, come back and focus. Come back and focus. All right. So the brother there with the high top is kind of like a high top. It's kind of like it's a weird top. He started laughing. Okay. So if it's not being taught in schools, and if the parents ain't dropping this information,
We've got a black couple here.
On the real,
you know, we've got a black couple here.
A black couple.
Shut down. You're not serious.
You guys ain't serious. Can I say one thing? Let me ask you a question in that case.
He's serious about black history.
Yeah. He said it, and the brother, his nostrils started to get wide and. Don't let him gas you like that, man. Seriously. So let me ask you one final question in that case, because obviously we're not getting anywhere with this one. This simple question: what would you say in that case is the biggest issue facing you as black teenagers in South London? What's the biggest issue you're facing?
Gangs.
What type of gangs?
Like, you know. No, that's not funny. That's not funny.
All right.
Gangs basically, and because in our environment we're surrounded by gangs and lots of crime. We've been hearing about lots of crime, lots of stabbing, lots of shootings and stuff like that.
Okay. And what about you, sir?
Stereotypes. People like to stereotype us a lot.
When you say stereotype, explain what you mean by stereotyping.
Like people, like not necessarily skin color, but like basically the way a certain, like, let's say black man dress, they start to like judge us already, and maybe that person could have a different way of life. Like, let's say someone can dress like, let's say, a GM, but then but then not be one, but people who actually wear that stuff might be, and it stereotypes us. It's just it's like it puts an unfair image on us.
Okay. All right, Box Juice, what are you saying? What's the biggest issue facing man of your age?
Violence.
Violence?
Yeah.
What kind of violence?
Because I know a lot of people that can't go to certain areas because they'll get hurt.
Okay. And that's a reality?
Yeah.
Okay. So give us an example of this reality, because me, originally, I'm from Peckham, yeah? So I went to school in Peckham, but I moved over to Brixton. And there was no friction. Man could move from area to area and there was no friction. But now you're saying that you can't go around certain areas. Yeah. Not you personally, but people that you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the choices they make. And the gang they want to be in. Because basically different gangs are in different areas. And people fight over people, like they both have fight. It's like a war basically. Yeah. It's like, for example, if England and Germany have a war and a British soldier goes to Germany, obviously they're gonna get killed. So it's the same thing in here.
Yeah. But England and Germany going to war, them man have a reason behind going to war. What's the reason? What's the reason why?
Probably robberies, something to do families and stuff like that.
Territories.
Say that again?
Like territories to make money or something.
Okay. Did you hear that tune by Jay-Z? The story of OJ. You know the tune by Jay-Z? Nah? Rich nigga, poor nigga, light nigga, dark nigga, still nigga. You never heard that tune? And then he talks about how you're fighting over the neighborhood and your mum's renting the neighborhood. Nah?
You say dark nigga?
That's what he said.
Oh.
That's how the tune goes. Who
I never heard that.
You never heard that? Who you listen to?
I don't listen to music.
You don't listen to music? Alright, listen. I can see this like going to the dentist here. This is like trying to pull teeth out of a blind man's head. How old are you, blood? Are you 14, 15? 14. So what you year 9, year 10?
10.
Year 10.
I'm born 2003.
Okay. So on the real, yeah? Last question, serious question, because you've said that they teach you nothing in your school about black history.
Well, this year.
So what?
Last year, like no. Ever since the new head teacher, we had like a lot of assemblies. Like we actually had that detailed analysis on like black people and history. But then this one, no. Like this year, like ever since the new head teacher come, probably not blaming him, but like no analysis, no nothing, no assembly.
But he's the head teacher, or she's the head teacher.
Yeah, he.
Okay. Because they say the most important thing for you as a young person to know. What do you think it is? What's the most important thing for you to know?
Your heritage.
Right. What's the most important thing for you to know?
Heritage.
Your heritage. Know yourself. They say it's the first thing that you should know, and it's the last thing you ever need to know. Now, if all you're being taught in school during Black History Month is slavery and Martin Luther King, he's got a big old phone there. If that's the last thing that they're teaching you, then where are you going to go for the knowledge? Because right now, what you're saying is that your situation is a gang situation, not you personally, but man of your age. How are you going to solve the problem? Because obviously your head teacher ain't going to solve the problem. The man my age ain't going to solve the problem. How are you going to solve the problem? Last question, and I'll let you go.
Be the solution, not the symptom.
Say that again?
Be the solution, not the symptom.
That's a nice slogan. What does that mean in reality?
Like, our head teacher uses it a lot. It's basically like you don't be a victim of what you've been brought up with, but you be something different. So let's say like someone that plays football around here could be like in a very like bad neighborhood, let's say around Brixton, but then makes it to some place like Real Madrid, that like a solution, like some hope in society around here.
Okay, I hear that. And what about you, tall man? Last one. I'll give you the final say.
What?
How are you going to solve this issue?
Well, be the solution and don't be the problem.
I'm sure that's what you just said.
Well, it's true. That's what I've learned. That's what I've been taught by my parents. Never be the problem. If there's a problem, always be the solution.
So, all right. So give me an example. Give me a practical example. How does that play itself out? Because you can't give me the slogans.
What's it called? If, like, for example, you've been brought up in Brixton, yeah, and then other people, like newly born, like a new generation, have been brought up, and then they don't know what to do in this area because there's lots of gangs, and then they don't know like what to do if they to continue their schooling or be a gang member. You're there, you know how it's been, you've had the experience, so you can help them and mentor them and stuff.
Excellent. And what about you? You want to say anything?
I just agree with this.
You just agree with
Yeah,
what
I
they say?
agree with
Everything?
them. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. One question for you. Did you hear about the case of the young man who went to the school with dreadlocks and they threw him out of the school? Did you hear about this one?
What's his name?
It's a school over in Fulham. Did you hear about this?
About what?
A young boy got locks, went to a school, and the school threw him out of the school for having locks. They said either cut your locks or leave the school. You didn't hear about it?
I saw it on.
Well, I think I
saw it once on Instagram.
Yeah, I seen it on Instagram.
What do you think about that?
It's a nonsense. It's a nonsense. Like, someone should be able. I understand if it's colour or something in their hair, but like someone should be able to come to school with their like own personal self and like not be able to be judged in a way that they can't come to school because of their hair. Like, there's many people in our school that have locks and stuff.
Yeah.
Bald hair, long hair.
So, where did I go wrong? In
I like
terms
to
of what's
dedicate this to
happening
all the
to
creators'
young
righteous
people on the
children.
streets today.
I have
And
some
I'm
food
again
in
saying
my
to you,
bag.
brothers and sisters,
Not
we
the
got to
edible
take
food,
back
food.
charge of our young people.
I have some food for
We got to take back charge of our community. We've got to become a real, genuine community. See, the turnout today is an example of the fact that we're not a community. Wow. And guess what? The enemy knows this. And the enemy is laughing. The two policemen over there, they're giggling in their sleeves. They're saying, oh, look, the natives are restless again. I mean, it's mockery of black people. But let me tell you something. We can make them laugh on the other side of their face. If we begin to take our liberation and our freedom seriously. We are a free people. And we have to start acting like free people act. Chinese people are free people, man. That's why in every major city in this country there's a Chinatown. You didn't hear what I said. You didn't hear what I said. I said the Chinese people stick together and they make sure that they got Chinatown. Asian people stick together. Whether the Asian man is a Sikh, a Hindu, a Muslim, it makes no difference to the Asian man. He understands self-interest. But black people have been tricked and conned. I want you to hear me. We've been tricked and conned into believing that if we come together and want to be together, somehow this represents reverse racism. But this is what even black people will tell you this foolishness, brother. Even black people will tell you this foolishness. Oh, why do we all have to be together? Why do we need black school? Why? Because it's called self-interest. The song says the self-preservation, self-determination. The song says God helps the child who has his own. And as long as we don't have nothing that we can call our own, we can't go and deal with no other people and expect to get respect. You can't go to a negotiating table with two empty hands and expect to be respected. Did you know that we got to have some black power? Yes. No, that sounded really weak. Did you know that we got to have some black power? Yeah. Do you know that Asian people have got Asian power? Yeah. You know, Chinese people have got Chinese power. Jewish people have got Jewish power. Where's the black power? The Asian man, look, you got some Asian man in this country, they're so powerful.
This virus may be sending your credit card details, Facebook login and personal emails to hackers remotely.
Just put the budge on the turban. That's power. power. But Rastaman find himself in the courtroom tomorrow. The judge tell him, remove that thing from off your head. The Rastaman said, no, this is my crown. As Ras, the judge will tell them, tell the bailiff, hold him down and remove it. Because it's disrespect. Why? Because the Rastaman don't have power. He has power, but he only has power in unity with the other brethren. Whether we call ourselves Muslim, Christian, Rasta, we have to come together and recognize our brotherhood. We are brothers. And so, brothers, I'm telling you, man, come 2018, me personally, I'm talking to some men right now.
And women.
And the women as well, but what I'm saying is right now, brothers, we got to shake up this country. That sounded really weak. I heard brothers, we got to shake up this place.
Every day there is war.
The black man is almost extinct. We got to sort this thing out.
Black man is an endangered species.
He is an endangered species.
You better believe it.
And so, in conclusion, I'm saying, brothers and sisters, whilst we do have our children in these institutions, we have to hold these people to the lies that they've written on paper. They've written lies on paper, and the lies on paper talk about equality. The lies on paper talk about the lies on paper talk about equality, talks about diversity. So we have to hold them to what they say. But understand what I'm saying. What they say and what they write on paper is not worth the paper it is written on. These are liars and deceivers. And when we come out here and we tell the headmaster that he should feel shame, understand he feels no shame. They have no shame. No shame. You can't tell the police to feel ashamed for killing black people in custody. They have no shame. Don't waste your time trying to reform the irreformable. If they were reformable, we wouldn't still, as black people, be looking for equal rights in 2017 after over 400 years of slavery and destruction of our humanity. And a government that mocks the idea of repairing the damage. We wouldn't have to be doing that. We wouldn't have to be facing neo-colonialism where they're now still trying to force their way back into Africa, having murdered a man called Muammar Gaddafi on the pretext of opening up an avenue into Africa where they can once again exploit Africa and black people. This is the reality that we face, family. And so I want to say to you, whether you appreciate it or not, there's a war on. We're at war. We're a people at war. And we got to start being a lot more, stop this nonsense about, in the nation and the too militant. You better get militant. You better get militant. See, because David Attenborough will show you on his programs the ant. And he'll tell you about the militancy of the ant. You try to tell Mr. Ant more superior than you as a man? Come on, man. These are Jamaica. I come from Jamaica. In Jamaica, we have some ants called soldier ants.
Soldier ants. And if they never bite you, your ant gone.
They're not playing. Them ants don't play. You get in their way. They bring down big creatures. Why? Because they work together. And so we got to become more soldierly in our bearing, brothers, sisters. You black women, you carried us for 9 months in your wombs. And if the truth be told, you've been carrying us for the last 400 years on your backs. I'm talking to the black women. The black women have been warriors. They've been out there on the front line. But it's time now for the black man to take his rightful place. We've got to take responsibility once again for our homes and for our families. And I'm saying, brothers, when the call comes, when you hear the call, there are people, they don't like me in this country, okay? I want you to hear me well.
That's a good thing.
The government don't like me.
That means you're doing something right,
The
bro.
government don't like me. And I don't care. And I'm not afraid. This ain't no bravado, no big talk business.
No, you gotta do something right, bro.
You understand? But what I'm saying is, when you see a man like me stand up for now nearly 35 years in this struggle, when we call you, brothers, you've got to come out because we've got work to do. We cannot do it by ourselves.
Get no younger.
The enemy is a coward. I want you to hear me. He is a coward. He likes to pick us off one by one. But when we stand together, the scripture says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Come on, brothers. Let's try this. Let's try some real unity. Let's try some real unity. And it's not about no foolishness. When I take no machete and march by no number 10. This is about an internalized focus where we as men come together and we start to build a genuine community that will capture the imagination of our people and win back our youth. We've got to get back our youth. There's a huge divide between black youth and black elders. This cannot be allowed to continue. We've got to win back our women. Can I get a witness on that, sisters?
Amen.
The sisters are looking for a good man, them can't find one. We've got to win them back, brothers. And the way we do that is by becoming men again. And we can't become men as individuals, doing our own little individual thing. We've got to come together. And we've got to become that team again. And so, brothers, I'm really imploring you. I came out here today not to disrespect those of you who have come here. I came here to stand with you in solidarity. But I know, I want you to hear me, I know that this ain't going to change a damn thing. What we're doing ain't going to change them one iota. But we got stuff that will change their behavior. And that's what we got to get together as men to discuss. Okay? Because we want to make a difference now. This time that we're living in, as I close, Brother Minka, this time that we're living in, believe it or not, it's our time. Do you know that the powers that be know the time? They know the time. And that's why more and more you see our youth being targeted. More and more you see our youth dying because they know the time. And so, brothers, sisters, please, let's really come together, not reacting to school expulsions, not reacting to deaths in custody, not reacting to murders on the street, but becoming a proactive people who call our gatherings and our meetings because we determined that we're going to meet to plan a future for ourselves. Does that make sense? We got to set our own agenda. And so, family, I encourage you, keep it up. I respect you, I honor you, and I really hope that all of us will recognize that, you know, this is not rhetoric, man. I'm saying this is our time. The enemy knows this. They know this. And we mustn't waste time, we mustn't waste our energy on causes that we can't necessarily make a difference in. But there are things we can do where we can genuinely make a powerful change and a powerful difference. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you. May Allah bless you as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow. 1 2 1 2.
Hello, good afternoon, Genesis Radio. You're on live. Who are you? Where you calling from?
I'm Rashid. It's Burchak, Brother Rashid.
Yeah, what's going on, mate? How you doing? You alright?
There hasn't been a People's Talk Show for 3 weeks or 2 weeks now.
For 3 weeks.
You know,
don't worry yourself, man. It's all good. That absence makes the heart grow fonder, my man. How's it going?
I wish the management was at the back and I would ask him if there's going to be a Talk 24 because I'll be waiting for that. I'm recording this show now.
You recording
as
this?
we speak.
Okay. Oh dear. Sorry, a piece of peanut went down the wrong hole, mate. Sorry. Hold on. Let me just take a sip of McGuinness. Hold on 1 second. If I die inside this Genesis studio, man, you know I died with my boots on the job. You know what I'm saying, brother? Bird chat, you still there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, yeah, I'm back, mate. I'm back. What's going on, brother? Talk to me. What's happening?
Please don't die on me, brother, man. Like, you know, you're a great presenter. Look, you know, you're a great presenter. Me and you might not agree with each other at some things, or we can always come to a conclusion, couldn't we?
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
you know?
yeah, cool, man, cool. And I appreciate. I wouldn't say I'm a great presenter. You know what I mean? I'm a bit humbled in that. You know what I mean? But thank you for the compliment, man. I'll accept it gladly. Yeah,
yeah, that's the only question I would ask if T-Rose at the back, when there would be a Talk 24. Because he said there will be Talk 24, and I cannot wait for that to record. But I'm going to stay here. I don't celebrate no Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't celebrate no
it's Christmas,
Kwanzaa.
isn't it? It's Christmas. Christmas, isn't it?
I don't celebrate none of them.
Yeah.
I don't celebrate none of them because they're both devilic.
Uh-huh.
They're both rapists and pedophiles. Both Saint Nicholas or both Dr. Kroenger, they're both rapists and they're both pedophiles. So, and New Year, no, I don't celebrate it. Now I know the truth about Christmas. Now I know the truth about Kwanzaa. Now about the truth about things. I do not celebrate none of those things.
Sure.
And it's very insulting for them to name Kwanzaa at the same time as Christmas, and they put this, so Kwanzaa is like a, you know, project, you know, to get black people themed, and then knowing that this Dr. Kroenger being, you know, what's happened, what I've heard, that is very deep.
What have you heard? Huh?
You know, the same old things when it was read out, rapist, you know, he was this, he was that.
Karenga's a. What you say? You saying that Milana Karenga's a rapist? Bloody, that's a bit strong, isn't it, mate?
No, the doctor who put Kwanzaa.
Yeah. Doctor Milana Karenga. Yeah, he was from a group called the United Slaves, us. Yeah, he's the man who set up Kwanzaa. Yeah.
But when I heard the lady call her, and she's got such a strong view about everything.
What lady is that?
She's so great. She has actually changed my mind. Now I don't know which to turn to now. Which like even about the other community platform, the way she opened up her true things, it just baffled my head. Like even about Kwanzaa, it baffled my head. Like that's when I started to think. What
baffled your head, brother? What baffled your head about Kwanzaa?
She's a strong. I forgot her name, but she's a very strong caller. She has got strong inner views. She's got a kind of a thin voice. I can't do it, but she's got a great voice, and she changed my mind. Obviously, she's she calls up regularly, but she has got a very strong thing, and she's changed my mind. She's educated me.
She educated
I don't
you.
think Kwanzaa. I don't think Christmas of what I heard about Kwanzaa Christmas. I'm going to forget that. I'm going to throw it away.
Why?
And I'm going to start my new subject.
All right, but Birchat, you're Turkish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Kwanzaa is an Afrocentric end of year celebration based upon these what was it? Was it 7 principles? Afrocentric principles. So for you as a Turkish man will be asking question, why are you as a Turkish man so concerned with Kwanzaa?
No, what I'm saying is both of them. disturbed when I heard the truth of Kwanzaa and how they set it up. Just the same.
What did you hear? What did you hear about Kwanzaa?
Well, I heard about the leader of Kwanzaa who set this up. This is to what I was told, that he was a rapist, the same as Christmas. The same St. Nicholas, also rapist, also bad. So I do not, and I found it very despicable to think both of these festivals being hit down on any colour, any creed, any creed of people.
So what, as this man, Karenga, has he been convicted of a crime? In terms of
from what I heard was
no. Forget what you heard. That's hearsay. Has he been convicted of any crime?
Well, he hasn't been convicted of a crime, but what they've been saying about him, and like he had probably a lot of money, so I don't know what project it was, but I'm not going to say no names because I could be into trouble, and I don't want to be in trouble by the law already, as I've got 15 warnings already, so I don't want to be in the trouble.
15 warnings for what?
Down. 15 warnings for some speaking political, some being a bit of a pest, and some being a bit threatening, and some saying that I was going to commit suicide and hurt others. So I don't want more warning. I don't want them to come to this house and make me look like a fool, or to this place, And already, I'm, so I can't even, should not be even saying this.
Have you been?
Someone could.
Yeah, so I hear that. Tell me something. Have you been following the case down in Lambeth, the Shirley Oaks case?
No, what's that about? Tell me in brief.
Well, Shirley Oaks was a home, innit, for young people, yeah, for children. It was a children's home.
Yeah.
But what it was, Lambeth Council for many years had its children's services basically run by a paedophile ring. So Shirley Oaks, down by Croydon, it was this home. The children, they was just abusing all the children down there for years and years. It went on for years, and now.
Hold on, my brother. Let me interject here.
I thought you knew about it.
Look, now I know about it. Look, this is what's happening, right?
What's happening?
I am very, very raged and anger, and my anger goes over the board when I hear all these things, and nothing has been done about it. Nothing will be done about it. Because you know why? Because I heard on another community station, and there's another person, yes, different station, it's in the UK, and he said that the councils now, corporations, and, to him, councils are being run by corporations, this to him. Yeah? He also told me that basically all of these things, social services, care homes, institutions, mental institutions. I mean, I've been in a Maudsley institution for overdosing myself with pills. Yeah? And I know what it was like. Yeah? And I had to sleep with one eye open because they didn't lock the door. They said that I'm not so reliable, so they didn't lock the door. And let me tell you something right now. Yeah? These care homes, these people who go into these care homes now, they have no staff that don't care for anybody. They have some of them, not all of them, but there are some of them run by paedophiles, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse unless someone actually takes on. And whenever I go onto the Green Party and I say the man who opens the phone of the Green Party, he's a receptionist. I talk to him. He's got a deep voice. So I think white man kind of I can't do his voice, but he's got a deep voice. I talked to him about you, and I talked to him about the Green Party. I talked to him, but none of the manifestos are clear. None of the things are clear. Every time when you're in politics, Rashid, it is like being a harlot. So the same thing is, if you get in power, or if Dwayne Brooks gets in power, or Boateng gets in, no matter who gets in power, that is black or white or Asian, they have to fit the status quo. And I'm very, very sad. You have disappointed me, Rashid. The community has disappointed me. The people have disappointed me. I'm nearly being depressed.
What about, have you? Hold on, slow down. Have you disappointed yourself? Because all I hear is you blaming other people. What about yourself? Have you disappointed yourself?
Well, look what's happened here. I spoke up for people. I did all this things for people. But what happened was now that our Speaking Up Suburb closed down because allegedly, this is my thing, some people didn't want to go on because we're getting from strength to strength. I'm looking for a new job. I've done my CV already. I've got 2 voluntary jobs already in place. But I've not been happy. Now my next task is to write a report to the government, but whether the government and the community will listen to me, and I don't want to give the LGBT community nothing, because the other tactic is to bring them involved. But if I do bring them involved, they will always want, something to me. They will all either say bend over, Burchak, or they will tell me to bend down for them.
Slow down, yeah.
So basically, I've got a heartless support planner. I'm not going to say what colour, what creed he is, but he is kind of he's got a very womanish voice. I've got a heartless support planner, heartless social services, heartless people now. There are heartless people out there, and there's not enough trained staff. And when I tried to open my mind on the open mic on the regional forum, some of the label people was like, not him again. So, Rashid, you know what? I've lost friends. I don't have no friends, whatever, on Facebook. Most of the women have been engaged. One lady from the Turkish Autistic Center that I stayed a long time ago in 2014, she rejected me. She basically said, sweetie, this, that, when I was in Turkey. And she rejected me. So basically, I'm finding it now very, very difficult. Because I believe someone is telling me some things. Someone is telling me something. All they want to do is just make Burchak's reputation hit down to the floor. One of them is my bro. Not my bro, but my sister-in-law wants me to go down a very bad road. That's a fact. Secondly, is I'm very happy that my granddad died. I'm very happy indeed. Let him die. Let him rot. He burnt himself and he burnt the house down. I was so happy when I heard it, because he was a nasty piece of work. That's my dad's dad.
Okay.
He was a nasty piece of work, and I'm so happy I'll be celebrating, because he has never liked me. He's never liked anybody else.
Anyway, stay focused. Stay away from the personal stuff. Keep it focused. Come on, man. Come on.
But I'm so happy because of that. I'm be celebrating, and that's why today, you are a great. At least you understand. But there's another person that understands very well. Even though they had to go at Haru for saying his personal stuff, Haru, you know what I mean? He's had a bad day at that other community station. I understand Haru and me more. So me and him are like family right now. Me and him, he's a brother to me. And he's very understanding to me. He's the best brother that I've ever had. He's very understanding to me. I tried to get through to the Genesis management, asking them about one show, and I don't know what happened, whether somebody told them something and I got cut off, or whether the phone cut off. But I was very, very sad, very, very sad indeed. Things are going not against me at the moment, and I don't believe that it's not going to be a new good year next year for me, because there's a lot of challenge. There's a challenge with my support plan that I had to go through, and if I say he's black, but I had a dream that I pointed the pen at the support planner, and I had lots of bad dreams about him, and it's like basically someone's telling them something. I know it's my support planner that wants me to die, wants me to be dead, wants me to perish.
Slow down. Anyway, listen, finish with something positive, mate. Seriously, this call is a bit depressing, actually.
No, it's not.
My
I've
support
tried
plan wants me
everything.
to kill myself. Come on, give me something positive. What do you want for Christmas?
The positive, I got something positive for you, and I got some great news to you. I now know, and I can assist someone how to convert a 4-hour, 5-hour MP3 into a movie and put it on YouTube. So anybody out there who's recording the show but doesn't know how to convert an MP3 into a YouTube movie, I can do that. And I can come down to the studio and I can take them one by one. That's only for Mac users though. If they've got Mac, then I can come down and I can assist them on how to do that. I can also show them a YouTube video of how to convert the MP3 if someone's recording the show, to convert it to YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's only a piece of pie, you know.
Okay.
But you need iMovie for it.
Mm.
I don't know how to do it on PC, but I suppose, you know. So I'm next. You know, Brown Sugar knows how to do it, but Mr. Green knows how to do it as well.
All right.
So me and Brown Sugar are equal in that. Second one is
you know, Bircher, I'll tell you what, on the real, yeah, for 2018, right? Here's what you're gonna do, yeah. Just like how before I said to you, you know, don't phone in until you get your CV done. This time around,
I've done it.
Yeah, I know you've done it. Well done. Congratulations. Round of applause for Bircher for doing his CV.
I've done it long
Well
time
done.
ago.
Well done. All right,
Send it to a lady.
And so every 6 months you have to update
Tukan.
it. Yeah.
I've updated it. I've sent it to Tukan. I've updated it.
Excellent.
Now I've got two voluntary jobs waiting for me. So
Good
that's
man.
another good news.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear. All right, so like I said, right, so for 2018, what you're going to do when you phone Genesis, yeah, right?
I've done that already.
Hold on, what? When you phone Genesis, you're going to make sure that you remain focused on your message, okay? Don't ramble, don't drift, okay? Keep it really tight, keep it really concise, okay? Is that cool? I'm gonna coach you to a higher level. So we got the CV done. That's very good. Alhamdulillah, we got the CV. So the next one now is your telephone style. So when you phone up, you make your point, you make sure that it lands effectively, and you don't ramble. Okay? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the next thing is how to talk to some people. So maybe if I can get more coached in how to talk. If there's a place where you can tell me on how to talk, to be able to talk to people, so that, and how to talk to a girl, how to talk to people
You're
on
a
the
player. You want to talk to you want to chat to gal? All right, I can get. You say, excuse me, miss. It's real simple.
But not just that. How also to talk to other people concisely and constructively without being aggressive and without being upset.
Right,
if I know how to do that,
I'll tell you what. Okay, here's the number one thing. The number one thing of communicating. Yeah, the number one thing. Have manners. Just have manners. Be polite. Even if you're upset, still be polite. You know, please, thank you, excuse me. You know. That sort of stuff, yeah. That's gold dust. Trust me, that's diamonds. Because what happens is that now, because of how the culture is, people don't know how to talk to each other. So we talk to each other very aggressively, you know, and there's no finesse. When you see diplomats, how they talk, these guys are talking about really important issues. You know, it could be pardon me. Could be a war or something starting, but the language that they use is a very kind of polite, you know, very, you know, it just takes a lot of the edge off of it. You know, look at Donald Trump. He's the exact opposite. He's just like, you know, he has no diplomacy at all. So what you want to do is you want to work on your delivery in terms of, you know, what it is I want to achieve when I open my mouth. You know, if I want this woman to give me a telephone number, once I start speaking, I've got to make sure that the words that come out of my mouth are so smooth that she's like, yeah, here's my number, you know. and not in any kind of tricky level. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of men will go out there and, you know, they'll get it all twisted. No, I'm talking about you be straight with a woman and say, look, you know, I really like you, let's hang out. You know, as opposed to, there's this meeting and it's about work and give me a number. And so she's there giving you her number for a work thing, and you're there trying to then, you know, get onto like some personal thing. No. Just keep it nice and straight. But yeah, maybe 2018, maybe we'll do some public speaking classes or some sort of communications classes, you know, because it's definitely that's where a lot of our issues lie, you know, communication. So yeah, I'll take that on board, brother. Take it on board. Okay.
All right then, Rashid. Remember, I haven't got much information, but yeah, I will text it. If not, the text is if you cannot read, then I'll call back. But just to land the point and then just go. But I'll let other people call in because you know I'm getting entertained by this, especially this lady caller who calls on Genesis. And she gets her views very to the straight. I don't know her names, but she talks about the business side and how, you know, how bad Sankofa and things like that. She educated me so much.
Okay.
You know.
All right, brother.
So I'll phone up. Get out that.
Thank you very much.
I'm gone.
All right, B. Nice one. Take care. All right, nice one. And that was Brother Bird Chat. This is Genesis Radio, People's Talk Show. Rashid Nix up inside the studio. 07931276232. No computers, man. You heard. Listen.
May be sending your credit card details, Facebook login, and
that's the
personal
computer.
emails.
Whatever's gone on with our computer, something's gone on, and all the stuff that I had for you is all locked into that computer, and I can't play it. So cyber attack, man. It's the Russians, obviously, man. It's the Russians trying to mess around with Genesis Radio. If I sound a bit blocked up, it's because I'm a bit blocked up. You know what I'm saying? I say it go. Anyway, a couple of things to mention before we move on. 2017 as it draws to a close. Wisdom, cipher, knowledge, God. All being born unto born. Born means to be brought into existence. This year, apart from a little bit of bad behaviour, what have we brought into existence as a community? Not too much, really. So there's a bag of things. Yo, Ronnie, you ain't gonna roll up, have you? You ain't gonna roll up. Who got the roll up? Yeah. Since I feel all blocked up, I'm like, you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. I'm gonna smoke a roll up. A roll up, I said. No spliff. I don't smoke weed no more. You know, them things that's part of the conspiracy. I'm telling you, the amount of man that are in Maudsley Hospital and Lambeth Hospital and all them other hospitals because they smoke way too much weed, mate. Telling you, leg of the weed thing that bad. It's not good for you. Trust me.
Yes, we're back in business. All right, so I can just stick this here. It's all right. Yeah, so I was called to speak to you guys about politics and how politics works and how it affects your life. Okay. Are we all nice and creamy now, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Genesis Radio without the computer, so we're just kind of winging it today. We're winging it today. So that was the Temptations, man. We don't make them type of music anymore, you know. You know when man harmonize and sing and people play instruments and, you know, it doesn't happen anymore, does it? Now it's just like Versace. It's just foolishness now, man. Anyway, Temptations from like, I don't know, 1960, whenever that year was. So yeah. So let me see. Out in the community doing some work. I always like to, you know, bring you guys a little update as to some of the stuff I get up to away from Genesis Radio, you know, so you kind of realize what we're up to. So this was a talk that I did to some young people last week. You know what I mean? It's like about 70 youths, and we were talking about leadership and politics. So I'm just giving you an insight into, you know, some of the programs that are running in and across the capital, really. So big shouts to the crew out there in Hackney that are working with these young people out there. But, you know, the maddest thing is that the young men are missing. such a wide field, yeah, such a wide area that there's so much we could talk about that we could be here for hours, we could be here for days, we could be here for months, years even, you know, because people go to university and they'll study politics over 3 years, then they'll do a master's degree in politics, then they're going to do a PhD in politics. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about like a 5-year, 7-year process. So there's a politics that you talk about, and there's a politics that you actually do. Think of it like this. I'll make it really simple for you. Yeah? Think of it like this. Imagine you've got a room full of people, and everyone's got a cookery book. You know, with a recipe, right? Cookery books. And we all sit down all day reading cookery books. And you talk to each other about cookery books, and you talk about recipes, and you know, if you use this type of flour, it gets this type of pastry, and you use that pastry when you're making this type of pie or whatever, yeah? And all you do is talk about cookery books all day long and recipes. But you're all starving. No one's cooking any food, but all you're doing is talking about cookery books. Do you see what I'm saying? Does it make sense? Those cookery books become important to you when? When they become important to you? When you get into the kitchen and you start doing some cooking. If you're not in the kitchen cooking, then your cookery book is what? Useless. Your cookery book, if you're cooking stuff to feed people, then your cookery book makes sense. But if you ain't feeding nobody, and all you do is talk about recipes, what does that make you? Say it again? Say it loud, it's cool. It makes you what? It makes you stupid. I've got the 3 guys at the back there kind of looking at me like this, like, it's tilted like, yeah, no, you, yeah. Speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. You sit at the back, I'll be throwing bombs directly over these heads and land on you, because I did say sit at the front. Don't hide at the back of the class. Okay, so that's how it works. So you've got one level of politics where people talk about politics, but don't do nothing, but they know all about it. So they know all the recipes, they know what type of flour to use, they know what to set the oven at, how long you cook the bread for, what type of ingredients to use, but they ain't cooked a damn thing. And all around them, everybody is starving. And they come on the scene and they start talking about, oh, if you use this type of flour, and you're there and you're starving. And they tell you about the type of utensils to use. Oh, don't use aluminium pots because they contain poison. They ain't in the kitchen cooking a damn thing. What do you think of that person? At what point do you tell a person to shut their mouth? At what point? It's a question. When they keep doing it. And that's what happens with politics. A lot of time people talk about politics, but they don't do politics. I want to know about the people who go into the kitchen. That's what I want to be about. I want to be able to go into the kitchen, and whatever's in the kitchen, whatever ingredients are in the kitchen, I want to know that, can you create a meal that could feed these people here? Because they're starving right now. And if you can't feed these people here, then sir, I suggest you shut your mouth and go about your business. Make some room, because we're going to come through. And you open the fridge and you look in the fridge, you right there. There's 1 piece of cabbage, a couple eggs, a little bag of rice. If you cupboard, you soy sauce, alright, make a stir fry. It's cool. We can get through this. And then all that stuff that you've been studying becomes useful. If you open the fridge and there is nothing there, all that talk that you got, what does it count for? Nothing. It makes sense? Already you're looking at me like, okay. There's 3 types of people in this world. This is according to a very famous philosopher whose name I will reveal to you at some point. So there's 3 types of people in this world. He said there's those people who don't know what's happening.
There's those people who wonder what's happening. Then there's those people who make things happen. You have to decide, out of those three groups of people, which one you are. This is important stuff, but you've got to decide. Are you going to make things happen? Are you going to spend the day thinking about what's happening? Or are you just going to go through life not even giving any opinion, and that's it? Do you understand what I'm saying? So what group are you? I need to know who it is I'm dealing with here, so then I can kind of pitch my presentation to the right set of people. It's cool. For those who don't know what's happening, put your hand up and say, sir, I don't know what's happening. What's that group? Alright, I've got one. For those people who wonder what's happening, put your hand up, let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And for those people who know what's happening, let me see that group. Okay. I've got one person who knows what's happening. I've got 5 people who wonder what's happening. I've got one person who doesn't know what's happening. So the rest of you, the other 30 people in there, what are you on? What are you on? It must be this session just after lunchtime, sir, and they want to sleep. Is that what it is? Alright. Quick stretch break. Everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. Everyone get up. Stand up. Stretch. 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 Everyone stretch. Yo, big man, stretch. Wake up. Wake up. Okay, you can sit down now. How old are you now? 15. Okay, 14, 15. Now,
say please.
Now think about this. You lot are the youngsters. You're supposed to be energetic. I'm the old man here. I'm the old boy. I'm supposed to be sitting there like this, falling asleep. I'm looking at you and thinking, hold on a sec. At what point did our young people go from 12 to 13 to 65? It's like they missed out the whole thing in between. They just went old. What happened? What happened? I asked a very simple question. I said, there's 3 types of people in this world. This is according to a man called Snoop Dogg, who's a philosopher. You've heard of Snoop Dogg, the philosopher, right? Say that again? He's a rapper. No, he's a philosopher. He's a rapper and a philosopher. What's that? What did you say? The one that smokes weed. That one? Yeah, that one. He smokes weed. He smokes an awful lot of weed. And he changed it to Snoop Lion. Yeah.
Snoop Tiger.
Snoop Tiger. He's now Snoop Tiger. Whoever he is.
Oh, Snoop Dogg is fine.
But back in the old days, when he was Snoop Doggy Dogg, and he just took all this straight up and down foolishness, that was a philosophy. It was called gangster rap. It was a philosophy. And there was a load of young people like your age, at the time, this is before you was born, 25 years ago, they had an album. That was called The Chronic. Mm-hmm. You know the album, right? Yeah? Right. Album called The Chronic, produced by a man called Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre has now got a headphones company called Beats. Made him into a billionaire. The headphones are rubbish, but people see the name and the little logo and they buy it. I'm like, right. People that simple to manipulate. Trust me, if you want good headphones, if you're interested in quality headphones, as opposed to brand names, go and buy Sennheiser. I trained at the BBC as a cameraman. I did quite a few things before in politics. And all the headphones that they use at the BBC were the top grade Sennheisers. And Sennheisers were costing £200 a pair. And you put these things on, and they are the best headphones, but because they're not cool, and they ain't got none rapper with these trousers hanging down, talking about you should buy these things, I said the name, you start laughing. The joke's on you. Because you spend your money buying stuff with brand names. So anyway, Snoop Dogg, on the album The Chronic, there's a track with Snoop, Corrupt, Lady Rage, and I think it's Bushwick Bill. Who are these people? I'm a hip-hop cat who went into politics, so I'm not your typical politician. I'll chop it up with the rappers about who's hot and who's not hot, and then I can chop up with the politicians about who's hot and who's not hot. I can step between the worlds easy. Easy. It's cool for me, because I'm like that. And in one of these tracks, when Snoop laid it down, he said there's 3 types of people in this world. He didn't say people, he said the N-word. He said there's those who don't know what's happening, there's those who wonder what's happening, and those who make things happen. People from the streets make things. That's philosophy. If that was Socrates talking, they'd be like, oh my God, that's one of Socrates' greatest ever. But because it was Snoop Dogg, people want to dismiss him as a gangster rapper. No, he's a philosopher. He's a philosopher. And like I said, I asked you a question. I said, out of those 3 groups of people, decide which group you're in. That wasn't a trick question. That was a straight question. Because if we're talking about politics, there's 3 types of people. Those people who don't know what's happening, those people who wonder what's happening, and those people who make things happen. Decide who you are, so we can get on and do the presentation. If I'm asking you a straight question, and only 5 of you or 6 of you answer, and the other 25 or 30 sitting like this, then I'm like, okay, we got an issue here. Am I making myself clear? Okay, so can I ask the question again? 3 types of people. Put your hands up if you don't know what's happening. Thank you, sir. Put your hand up if you wonder what's happening. Okay. Put your hands up if you're in that group who make things happen. The man at the back there, for the ladies who didn't see, tried to put his hand up and the back next to him was like, yo, and slapped him down. It was like he went for the shot and the man just blocked the ball. He was like, no, you ain't scoring today, bro. Chairs in. Okay, so we wonder what's happening. Right. That's why you're here today on a Saturday afternoon and you're not down wherever it is, Broadway Market or whatever, hanging out and doing whatever you do over in Hackney. Or whatever people do over in Hackney. I'm from Brixton. Yeah? You're here because you wonder what's happening. I'm here because you wonder what's happening. I'm here to tell you what's going down. Is that cool? At any time I speak, anything I say that you don't agree with, stop me. Put your hand up, call out, speak. Don't hold back. There's no such thing as a wrong question. The only wrong question you could ever put is what? The only wrong question is that question that you don't ask. That's the wrong question. And that's where we fail. Because so many times we wonder what's happening, right? But we don't want to answer the question because we might feel like, how do we feel if we answer the wrong question? You get embarrassed. Yeah? And because of our culture, it's not about how we look, but it's about how we think that we look. It's called peer pressure. Young blood at the back there with the glasses came into the room. Sorry, bro, I said you're right in my line of vision, so I'm going to be bombing you guys at the back. It's cool. Yeah, next time you sit at the front, you'll be high. Blood came in, sat at the back, tried to draw his face, give him the bad night thing. I was like, yeah, all right, bro. How you doing? Tell me I'm lying. I'm not lying.
No, his face actually looks like that.
His face is like that. He's on the road level, that's called dry stitching. It's like where a man cusses you, but it's like in a roundabout way where it's not directly. I'm just messing with you. What I just did there was called Machiavellian.
Interesting.
Machiavellian. Machiavellian. Have you heard a rapper called Tupac?
Yeah.
I'm just checking. I don't know. You might listen to some new rappers. Ladies. You lot might listen to some new rappers that I don't know. Tupac, they say he's like, a lot of people say he's the greatest rapper. Some people say that. What? What happened? Nothing happened. Okay. Right. It's okay, guys. It's alright. We're good. Right. Tupac recorded under another name. What was that name you put under? If you know Tupac, because you all got excited when I said Tupac. All like, hey, we know Tupac. Tupac recorded under another name. Tupac recorded under another name. Tupac recorded under another name. Come on, guys. Yeah? Here's your man, Tupac, right? That's your man, Tupac. Focus. Remember, this is politics. We have to be on the same page. If there's 3 types of people and you are the ones who wonder what's happening, when I start dropping this information, you pay attention to this stuff. Because this time you go from wonder what's happening to knowing what's happening to making things happen. Which is why as a politician, when I go into certain environments, they can't give me the gas. They can't give me the okie doke. Because I'm like, yo, I'm not that type of politician. I'm a different type of politician. The stuff that I dealt with before I got into politics prepared me for politics. Do you hear what I'm saying? A lot of politicians go into politics, they have no life experience. They grow up in a very nice environment. Everything's cool. They go to a very good school. And then from a very good school, they go to a very good university. Where would they go and study, university-wise? Go ahead. Oxford. Cambridge. They call them Oxbridge. Part of what they call the Russell Group of universities, which are the elite universities. I didn't go to Russell Group University. I went to South Bank University at Elephant and Castle. And we go from one lecture theatre, which was in a tower block, and we go down, and we have to cross over Elephant and Castle roundabout, which is a madness roundabout, and they had a subway. So you'd go down the subway, and the subway stunk of urine, and you'd see crackheads and alcoholics down there. And you go from one spot to another spot. So I'm like, okay, well, this is reality. I'm not going to a university where they got the lake, and you go boating, and you got a big sea on your cardigan, and, oh, hi, how you doing, Annabelle? Oh, excellent. I said, pass the wine, please. Yes, jolly good. My university wasn't like that. My university was like the hood put into a box, and it was just wild. There was brothers out there that were shotting weed, there was men that was hustling, there was people that was going to... And at the same time we went there, we got our university degree, and we got our street knowledge at the same time. You hear what I'm saying? Get your street knowledge first. That's your foundation. Get your university degree on top of that. Trust me, people can't mess with you. Because you know about life. When you step over winos on your way to a lecture about constitutional law, you're thinking, well, what part of the law is my man operating under that is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he's like this. And I've stepped over him. Does that law apply to him? This system that has been created, is it benefiting this group of people? Or does it only benefit a certain group of people? The people who benefit from the system, do they look like us? These are questions that people who wonder what's happening should be asking themselves. Does the system work in all of our interests? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. What do you see that upsets you about the system that doesn't work in your interest? Tell me. Go ahead.
It's targeted at specific people.
Targeted at specific people. Somebody build on what she just said, because she's made a very, very valid point there. Certain people are targeted in terms of what? The good stuff or the bad stuff? Tell me something else about the system. Those of you who wonder what's happening, don't be scratching your head and going, I'm watching all of you. Go ahead, sir. Yeah. Something about the system that you live in. It's corrupt. I hear that. Lady here and lady here. Go ahead. It doesn't listen to us. Okay. Young lady at the front here, in a very quiet voice, but I hear what you said. She said the system doesn't listen to us as kids. Miss, can I say, there are adults who are 50 years old and 60 years old who say exactly what you just said. The system doesn't listen to us either. Yeah? We have a saying in the Caribbean, or the Caribbean, if you want to give it the English version, the Caribbean, we say the squeaky hinge always gets the oil. You're looking at me like, what? Man's not talking about woodwork. What's he talking about? What's a politics class? Repeat after me. The squeaky hinge. Squeaky hinge. Always gets the oil. Always gets the oil. I'll say it again. You say it again. The squeaky hinge. The squeaky hinge. Say it like you mean it. The squeaky hinge. The squeaky hinge. Always gets the oil. Always gets the oil. What does that mean? Go ahead. She said, if you keep pestering. Mm-hmm. Anyone else at the back? It's not pestering, it's asking what you want. Okay. At the front here.
If you really need it, they're gonna give it to you.
If you need it, they're gonna give it to you. Remember, the squeaky hinge always gets what? The oil. And what it means is like you have said, some call it pestering, some call it just asking for what's yours. But if you don't ask, you don't what? You don't get. And when I ask a question, and so when you kind of, I'm like, yo guys, we gotta up the energy here, because we are gonna be in that position where we gotta start asking for stuff. And you're gonna be talking to people who really don't want to hear you. So you've got to make sure you understand the what? The message, the language. You have to understand. What I suggest you do? Juju, right? So you know Juju? Yeah? Okay. What do you know about Juju?
Yo. Hold on a second, let me just fade this one down. People's Talk Show, very quiet People's Talk Show, just busting out some interviews and stuff, just keeping it nice and cool. Cause you know me, I'm not really into the argument anymore. There was a time, if you'd have caught me on People's Talk Show a couple years ago, you know that I love argument. I want to get under your skin. I want to wind you up. I want to run joke on you. I want to get you vexed. And at the end of the day, what happens? Nothing. Just two black people having an argument over something that they can't change. You know what I'm saying? So I just find it far more productive if, you know, I just give you little insights really into some of the stuff that goes on in and around the capital, you know, on the community level, really. You know what I'm saying? You know, some of the issues that we're facing, some of the solutions, some of the, you know, some of the strivers, some of the programs that are running. So that little last 20 minutes there was the was a talk that I gave to a group of young people last week over in Hackney. About 60 young people there, and pardon me. Oh, okay, we got a caller. Good afternoon, Genesis Radio, People's Talk Show. Who are you? Where you calling from? You're on live. Go ahead.
It's Quiet People's Talk Show, so I would come back to it too. You know, I love the way you play the interviews, and you play various different informations about what people think and what other people think of politics and what other people, and how you get people into understand the knowledge. Now, there's some things that came to my mind about reunification, and now it's been more openly talked about after you raised the point.
Okay.
After it has been seen, the other community platform has been talking about it now.
Uh-huh.
More people. The good news is I've been also going to a mainstream station. You know, when you and Dotton at the bio was talking.
Okay.
That station.
Yeah.
And
just say BBC London, man. It's BBC London.
Yeah. I didn't want to advertise them, but basically, there's a presenter at the nighttime show. One's dyslexic. He's from India. Very nice man, and he lets me on. I really like him because his attitude is so great, and he lets me on. I tell him about some information about the link tax. You know about the link tax that's happening.
The what?
That they want to push past. Now, the receptionist of the Green Party, I was shocked that he didn't know about the link tax.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
This link tax, yeah. But now a lot of people have stood up for it, and a lot of people, which are shared on Facebook and things like that, now a lot of people stood up for it. They want to push it back to 2018 because that's the tactic they do when a lot of people stand up for something. So that's another good news. Another great news on this sort of thing. I mean, it's not great news, but they push it back because a lot of people stand up for it. But I've also told this presenter, this nice brother from India, and he's very nice, very understanding, lets me on all the time. And I always tell him the information, and I always get it thingy, basically. You know, I give it to him, and he always says to me that I'm a great person, and I'm a great caller, you know. And so I pleased him. However, now, I know that I'm not going to get in good times with you, but, Brother Rashid, unfortunately, I've got to confess this to you. I do listen to a lot of demonic rapcore. Rapcore music, which actually shouts and, you know, scream when they're rapping. You know, that kind of, you know, when they scream out their tummy.
Okay.
And it sounds like they're actually coughing from their bowel.
Okay.
Rapcore. I listen to loud punk hardcore music, which is quite loud to the ear. I listen to stoner metal, which is not very, very good at all. It doesn't do well.
Why don't you go and listen to some Chopin, some Mozart? Trust me. Just check it out. Check out Chopin. Chopin.
I know about it.
Go and listen to
Mozart.
Play some Chopin. Chopin nocturnes. Trust me. That stuff just relaxes you, man. If I had my way, you see these youths that are popping off, right? There was a shopping center, yeah, where all these youths used to go and they would congregate and make trouble, yeah. They're just there, just make, and they called extra security to try and deal with these young people and this, that, and the third, and they didn't know what to do with them because they was all getting all out of shape. And they spoke to a psychologist and he said, look, man, you see on your PA system, he said, just play some classical music. and they played classical music, and the youth just left. It was that simple. It was just that simple. It's not complicated. You know what I'm saying? Because what you realize is that we're living in a society, in a system where what's going on here? Yeah, we're living in a society and in a system where, you know, you got the wickedly wise, as we call them. You know, some refer to them as being the 10%. You know, some refer to them as being, you know, psychologists, mind manipulators, or whatever it is. But there are people in this town, in this country, in this world, who understand 100% how to control human beings. They know exactly how to control us, you know, through what we see and what we hear and what we taste. You know, they know how to manipulate us. And they know if they just get us listening to a certain type of music, we become absolutely, you know, unteachable, because they know, you know. That's why you realize that the upper class people, the so-called upper classes, you know, they will still have an appreciation of, you know, classical music and jazz, and they'll go to an art gallery, and, you know, they'll be really calm. I mean, they can be downright shysty. But you find that the people from the working classes, they've got us thinking in such a level that we can't listen to certain types of music because it's not of our class, you know. So we don't listen to jazz, we don't listen to classical, we don't go to a art gallery, we don't go to a museum, we don't do none of that. You know what I mean? We don't eat fine food, you know, because we've been miseducated to believe that because we're from lower classes, we can't do these things. And when you listen to this stuff, and you hear Chopin, and you're like, rah, you can just sit down and think. You can just sit down and meditate to Chopin.
I meditate the sound of the rain. You know, there's a sound of the rain. I have rain sounds. Yeah. And I meditate to that and sleep. But do you know any black person who does listen to violent stoner metal and does get very violent? Like, I'm talking about very...
Nah, brother, you need to take all that stuff and you need to flush it down the toilet. Don't waste your time listening to that stuff. It doesn't do anything for you, man. It's like you telling me, you know, yeah, you know, I eat good halal food, but once a week I eat a pile of shit. You know, it's like, what's the point?
The morning people's talk show, man.
Yeah, it's cool, man. This how people talk,
you don't need to swear, like.
I didn't swear. I didn't swear. I didn't swear. Anyway, let me get back to my show, sir. Let me get back to my show, okay?
All right, then.
All right, you have a blessed day. All right, you take care.
And you too.
All right,
bye.
Bless up. Yeah, so as I was saying, you know, we just kind of take it out there in terms of, you know, what's happening in and around the capital, really, you know, because there's so much stuff that's going on that just doesn't get covered at all. You know what I mean? Just doesn't get covered. And you'd actually end up believing that there's nothing happening. You know, if you sit down and you're waiting for the BBC to tell you what's happening in your community, then you're in trouble. If you're waiting for some press release from the Department of Education to tell you what's happening with education, you're in trouble. You need to go out there and find out what's going on. You know. Anyway, so a little bit of music was playing. I love that tune where the man said, you know, was it you're gonna miss my love? You know, like, imagine there's gonna come a time when I ain't gonna be here no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be here. Seriously, I won't be doing this work in the community any longer, because I'm like, you know what? It doesn't make any sense. We're not getting anywhere. It's like we just turn into a bunch of spectators. You know. Everything we do now is spectate. We just watch. We just watch and we just watch and we just watch. You know? And then we might complain on Facebook or whatever it is, or WhatsApp. You know, we form a WhatsApp group and we think, yeah, that's being part of the struggle. No one gives a shit about your WhatsApp group. Honestly, nobody cares less. I couldn't care less how many thumbs up you got or how many shares you got. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean a damn thing. When stuff becomes important, when it gets you up off of your behind, out onto the street to actually do something, to roll up your sleeves and take part, then give me a call. Until then, it's bare talk, mate. And when I'm out of here, boy, you're going to miss me. Seriously, you're going to miss me. telling you straight. 2018, boy, I'm leaving on that midnight train to Barbados. This tune goes out to all the community workers out there that are putting in hard work, trying to raise the 85%, the deaf, dumb and blind, those masses of the people, poison animal eaters, slaves of mental death and power, stiff-necked and rebellious, those people who worship that which they know not what, either in the wrong direction, hard in the right direction. Oh my days, all them workers out there that are trying to put the work in. When you leave, boy, them communities are going to be balling for you. They're going to be balling for you. So this is the blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
1, 2, we're here, we're live and direct, Genesis Radio. You know we go and get those stories that no other station ever could dream about. You know, in the world of the black people, we have different degrees. And sometimes we just talk about the West Indians, or we talk about the West Africans, and we talk about this. Today, we got the brothers from Somalia on Genesis Radio. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Yeah. Listen, we was just chatting about whatever. You can't walk away, man. You can't walk away. Yeah, everything good. Listen, man. You know, one of the things is that we as West Indian people, we don't really know Somalian culture. You know what I'm saying? Like we know Somalian people, but we don't really understand about the culture. But what I do know about the culture is that Somalian culture, when you're ready, you man roll like gangster on a certain level. Some of the things that you deal with, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the same time, I know Somalian brothers that are doing a lot of very legitimate good things. You know, so you go from Mo Farah, who's waving the flag for England. Where's he from? Mo Farah is not from. He's not Somalian.
Mo Farah is not Somali. He hasn't got Somali culture.
I thought he was Somali.
He's Somali. Originally, he's from Somalia, but he's not Somali. You know, you can't say, like when you're looking at our culture, you can't look at Mo Farah. You understand? Oh. It's like Mo Farah is more like westernized. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, like,
look at that brother that made that movie.
Barkat Abdi. You know Barkat Abdi?
You have to come because you're too far away.
You know Captain Phillips, the movie Captain Phillips?
Captain Phelps?
Yeah, the brother that made the movie Captain Phillips called Barkat.
Oh, yeah.
He's more like Somali than Mo Farah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He grew up there, he got the culture, everything.
So when you see someone like Mo Farah and he's doing all the running and he's getting the medals and whatever, does that make you feel proud, or you just say, boy, you know what, he don't really...
Not really, because he's more westernized. He had the opportunity to go there.
Okay.
So he grew up in here, so he don't know the culture of Somali.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, we learn something new every day. Every day.
This brother, Barkat Abdi, I was watching the other day on some talk show in America.
Okay.
And they were talking about the refugee crisis in the world. Mm-hmm. And he was going in, you know what I mean? If you ask him questions about that, you know, like he feels like he's been through it, you know what I mean? Like we all come here as refugees, you know, like we're trying to make a life here. But, you know, like guys like Mo Farah, they get, like they got like, you know, the system here, you know how it works. It's not what you know. It's like who you know, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when someone like they say Mo Farah, his school PE teacher helped him, something like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the difference. You know, that's the difference. You understand?
What?
When someone has come through, you know, came through the sea and walked, you know what I mean, and spend money that all their wealth they spend just to get here, and then to find out they don't get the same opportunities. Right. You know, it's not the same. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got you now. All right. So in that case, I'm going to show my lack of knowledge of the Somalian culture. You know this guy who does the news? What's his name? Raggy Omar. Raggy Omar.
Same thing, brother.
Same thing.
You can't say like Raggy Omar. He's Somali. You know, when I see him on television, I feel proud because he's from my country. We're same blood. You know what I mean? But you can't really look at him and try and get Somali culture from him. You know what I mean?
Okay, I hear that.
Plus, I don't want to get political with this.
Don't get political.
But the two guys you just referenced, there's this part Somalia where British colonized, and it's called Somaliland. That's where they're both from. So if you look at really the Somali south is where everything is fucked.
But you don't see people from that end to make it out here.
Right. Okay.
But I don't know.
Okay. See, we didn't realize.
Is where the Italians colonized.
Okay.
You see, there's 3 parts in Somalia. Whereas you got Djibouti. You know, is
there's 3 or there's 5? How many?
5. Yeah.
Sorry, there's 5.
Yeah, it's 5 places where other countries colonized the whole Somali. That's why we got 5 stars on the flag. It represents each side.
Okay.
Which is the Italian, the British, and the French, and the Ethiopians and the Kenyans.
Wow. You hear this, listeners? See, like I said, this is Genesis Radio. And when we go into the community, and we talk to real people. We don't talk to Raggy Omar to get the story about Somalia. We don't talk to Mo Farah. We come down to the real deal. Let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask my Somalian brothers another question. You see, a lot of the internet shops all over London, Somali brothers be running these shops. Yeah. And the cab. How does that work? Somalis decided we're gonna lock off the internet shops.
You know, Somalis, they have a tendency because they're not creative. You know what I mean? Like most of them they copy each other, and that's my opinion. You know what I mean? If they see you open a little restaurant here, like another guy has a bit of money, he wants to do the same thing instead of opening. Like creating something new. Yeah. They like to do the same thing, every one of them. Okay. That's my opinion.
Okay. But it works though. What you saying, young blood? What you saying?
See, with the internet situation, it's kind of us liking the communication thing. It's not just the internet, radios and TVs, but most of the time we don't have access to these things, right? Like if you look at now Somalia, we have the best internet, the best communication in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, in Somalia we have the telephones and the internet.
Okay.
Yeah? I think we're the first African country to get a fiber optic after South Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it's us being ahead of the rest of Africa because we know the internet is the new thing, right?
So how did Somalis find out it's the new thing? That's what I'm interested. Because for me, what interests me is when you get people coming from overseas, regardless of what color they are, or whatever, whatever culture they come from, they come into England, and some people come to England and they're very productive, and they do stuff. So you get the Polish people, they do a lot of the building and whatever. The Somalian brothers, they got the internet shops, and the taxis. The Asian boys got the corner shops. You know what I'm saying? The West Indian man, what have we got? What have we got? We got the ganja. We don't even control that, my brother. We don't even control that anymore. You know what I'm saying? But we must have something. We must have some
music. I would say.
Music.
Yeah.
Music. Okay. We can music. You know what I'm saying? So that's what always impresses me, because would you say that Somalian people, do they look on themselves as being black or Arab or African? Yeah.
That situation, I run into loads of people, saying the same thing there. But if you look at yourself, obviously where you West Indians, like you are more proud to be black, right?
Okay.
Because you are black.
Okay.
But in our culture, the problem is what we exposed to.
Right.
You get it? Through TV or movies or whatnot. So most people think being white is the best thing.
Yeah, okay.
So everybody wants to be white. Generally, not just Somali, in Africa, the whole thing. Everybody wants
the whole Africa.
Yeah, everybody wants to be
Africa's
white.
in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So obviously it's the colonization that done to us, right? But we know we are black people at the end of the day.
Okay.
But it's more to do with the influences.
Okay. I hear that. Go ahead, big one.
Also, Somalia is part of the Arab League.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, political. Like it's the first non-Arabic speaking country that in the Arab League.
Okay.
We have our own language.
Okay.
But we are in the Arab League. It's like, how you have European Union.
Yes.
You have African Union.
Okay.
You got the Arab League as well.
Okay.
It's not the only country right now. The Gambia is part of it now.
Gambia?
Yeah.
Gambia?
Yeah, Sudan is part of it, but they speak Arabic as well.
Wow. Listeners, you hear that? Gambia is now part of the Arab League, West Africa.
I think it's not about race, it's more to do with the religion.
Okay.
Because if you look at the whole Arab thing, it's all Muslims. Right?
Okay. All right, well, listen, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But, say, the thing that I always remember about the crew from Somali was this thing that man are chewing up them leaves. What they call it?
Jad.
Jad.
You call it jad.
Jad. Okay. My brother here, he's looking now. He's like, he get excited. What you saying, bro? Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam. I used to before chat, but now I stop in 5 months.
You stopped for 5 months?
Yeah, I stopped in 5 months. It's like waste. It's no good.
Really?
Yeah, wasting time.
Actually, you know, in a social thing we call it it's a sport.
Sport.
Yeah, chewing chad is a sport for us.
It's a sport, like running 10,000 meters like Mo Farah.
Instead of running, we sit down.
You just
You do lecture in your head.
You do it. So because I'll be honest, listeners, I'll be honest. Okay, go ahead.
This Chad, is it's a Arab influence. You know, it mainly come from Yemen. Yemen is like just the sea.
Yeah.
And Ethiopia.
Yeah.
It comes from there. That's where it grows. It doesn't grow in Somalia.
It doesn't.
It's exported. You know, like how you got the.
How you import ganja? You have to import.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
Seen. Okay.
You see, and most people think only Somalians chew chad.
Well, you know what, brother? Sorry to cut you. That's what they tell us in the media.
Yeah, but that's a lie. Innit? Ethiopians chew chad, Kenyans do chad, Ugandans do chad, and Yemen actually #1 country chews the most chad is Yemen.
Yemen chew the chad.
The most, like literally, if you look on the internet, you will see them. Yeah, they will have rows after rows of people just chewing the whole night.
Because you know, I tell you what, there was one time I must have been going down Oxford Street. This was years ago, yeah. And I must have read an article about this thing, because I thought it was called kak or something like chak.
Yeah,
the pronunciation, right? Yeah, chat. It makes it chat. and I see this brother. He was outside of Selfridges on Oxford Street, big Selfridges, and he had a big plastic bag, and it was just filled with leaves, and he was just there chewing. And so I walked past, and I look at him. I said, "Yo, brother." I said, "Salam alaikum." He said, "Ah, walaikum salam." I said, "Is that chat?" He said, yes. And he was there chewing it. He said, "You want some?" And I thought, you know what? It's leaves. It can't be that bad, can it, really? You know what I mean? It's not like he's giving me tablets. If the man give me tablets or something, I'll be like, yo, nah. I don't miss anything. But leaf, you know, say, Allah make it grow out the ground is natural. It can't be that bad. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So I took a bunch of it, and I was there chewing it up. You know, it tasted bitter. They call it bitter. What's that?
At the beginning, it's bitter, but after a while, it becomes sweet.
Okay. Yeah. But I don't remember. I mean, some time ago, but I don't remember what happened because it's like maybe. What did I do? Should I have chewed more or chewed less?
Chew around 4 hours. If you chew around 4 hours, yeah, you feel something.
I got to chew for 4 hours.
Yeah.
People do more than that.
Yeah, more than that.
Chew for 4 hours.
4 hours sitting. With,
brother, that's my whole day.
Yeah. Then you feel something.
If I chewed anything for 4 hours, I'd feel something.
See, like the Rasta man, with the weed thing, you just don't smoke at once and just expect it to be feeling alright, innit? You have to smoke every time. Chewing is like that. You have to chew every night.
Chew every
night. To get the buzz in it.
And I got to chew for 4 hours.
More than that sometimes.
More than that.
People chew more than that.
Sorry, big man. What are you saying?
In 2011, I chewed every single night.
You chewed every night?
Yeah. If one night passes, I regret it. You know, I don't want the night to be wasted. You know what I mean?
But so you chewed for 4 hours every.
4 hours, not 4 hours. I go to my work. You know, I do my work, but you know, when I finish work, I come, I chew. You know, I get not till the morning. I chew like up till 1 a.m.
Wow.
And then I go sleep and wake up 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You start in around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock until 1 o'clock a.m.
You know, like.
Okay.
What I like about it, because we are foreigners in this country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, this is not our country. There's a lot of things that going through our head. Yeah. It numbs it. You know, it makes us feel at home.
Right. Okay. I'm with you now. I'm with you. You know. There's something about this country that a lot of people come from other countries to come here, and this country is so crazy that we do all stuff just to make us forget that we're here.
it's crazy, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'll tell you a funny story. Yeah, when I was back home, yeah. Obviously, where we watch TV, that's all we know about the world, didn't? I used to look at TV and see England, and my whole perception of England was just Buckingham Palace everywhere. Till I got here.
And then what happened when you got here?
Depression started.
Depression.
Because I thought, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be everything nice, innit?
Yeah.
When you see it on TV, that's how it's going to be, life like that.
Yeah.
So you see most us Africans, yeah, obviously you hear what Libya is happening today, yeah?
Yeah.
It's because they have that perception of Europe.
Yeah.
That the whole Europe is cushy, like nice, everything. You get a car, you get a house, but we don't know this shit owns by someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
Brothers start chewing when they come here after that.
That's why brothers start chewing to take away the pain. I hear you, brother. Make you forget. Yeah, no, I understand now. I understand. Well, listen, we could be talking for 4 hours if you got some chat and we just sit there and just chew and chat. No. On a serious note, I mean, I think that it's more important that for you brothers from Somali and us West Indian brothers, because one thing I'll say, with the Deen of Islam, I get to know brothers from Somalia. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing. And so, as Muslims, we brothers. Culturally, we're very different. But because we deal with the Deen, we brothers and we can chat.
Deen comes before culture.
Say that again, brother?
Deen comes before culture.
Okay, you hear that, listeners? So even though there's some man out there that get it twisted, and they do get it twisted, there's brothers out here that know what time it is. Your Deen comes before your culture. Keep your Deen true. You can chew the green too, but only Allah can redeem you.
What a good thing to say, man.
Yeah, all right, listen, my brothers, you continue to do what you're doing, man. I love meeting you. No, go ahead, brother. I'll give you another word. Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead.
I want to say one more thing. Like we all come here as foreigners. You understand? Whether you're from Jamaica, you're from Sri Lanka, we all have to stick together. You know what I mean? Like me, I got friends from different nationalities here. That's why I love this country. Different, different nationalities.
Yeah.
You don't find that in your country. Basically.
That's true. That's very true. I must
mean?
admit, there's not much places I know where you can get brothers as international as this in one place.
There's a lot of Somali brothers in jail. I want to say free them all, man. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of the Mali brothers in jail. I don't know what that's about, man. In that case, before we wrap up, it's like as West Indians, we have the kind of bad man culture. Yeah, we have our upstanding, hardworking black people, and then we got the bad man as well. And a lot of people were surprised that Somalians have got a bad man culture. A lot of people was they didn't know. You wanna talk on that one, brother? You wanna?
Yeah, my English no good.
It's okay, brother. It's okay.
Maybe he did.
You see what you just said, yeah? Because you see me, I used to be one of them guys, yeah?
I know.
But what I feel like that made me go that way is because I forgot my Deen. You see what I'm saying? So obviously most people, that's what happens to them, innit? Right? Is when you don't look at your Deen and so do what you're supposed to do, what your Deen says, obviously you're going to go the wrong path. Yeah? Whatever, you go prison or you just become a bum on the road, yeah? It's because you forgot your Deen. But if you put your Allah first, I don't think you will go that way.
I hear that. It's very simple. Very simple. Listen, my brother from Somalia, because we don't know the language of Somalia, yeah? If you was a Somalian bad man and you was having some words with a man in Somalia, talk in the language of Somalia so we can actually hear how Somalian man will tear up a man in the language. Go ahead, because this is... And then we wrap up.
He's more good at that way.
You want to hear that?
Yeah, we want to hear it.
In my language.
In your language, yeah, go ahead, man.
Actually, I'll get angry, you know why?
Why?
Because it's more cursing like mothers.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that's in our black culture across the board, man.
That's exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Just cursing parents, man.
All right. Well, remember, he's just doing this for the mic. He ain't doing it to you. Go ahead, Aki.
And we have to swear each other. If we not swear, no. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think I saw Gillis in English. You understand?
Basically, we curse each other and it's not good.
It's not good. Okay. I hear that. You know what? I stand corrected there. Because even though the listeners want to know this stuff.
Bad man عمل وهذا لكن آية
I think this guy will do it, man.
Yeah, I want to hear some Somalian bad man talk in Somalian.
Somali bad man was, you know, Somalis have a funny way of you know, threatening each other. You know, Somali person, if they say like means like I'll hit you between the eyebrows. In English, it don't make no sense. Like if someone say to you, I'll hit you between the eyebrows, it don't make no sense. You know what I mean? But in Somali, if you say that to someone, that means, you know, like they say, like ninkudi kumusidilen. Somali we have that saying, like a man that warned you hasn't killed you. Like if I say to this guy, don't come near me, you know, I'm warning you. That means if I do something to him, I didn't kill him.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And also, you know, like we have, like my friend last time, he had, you know, like you had this Jamaican brother shouting. You know, Jamaican people, they like to shout. I kill you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this brother, you know, he was quiet. You know, you thinking this brother is going to kill you, but that's their culture. You know what I mean? He don't mean like he's about to hit you. It's just they like to shout this to scare you.
Yeah.
And this brother just punched him.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. I said, why you hit me for, man? You know? Because the Somali guy thought that this guy is about to fight him.
Yeah.
Yes. You understand? So, you know, now,
serious.
Yeah. So some people, you know, there's a thin line, you know, there's between being good and being bad.
If you threaten each other, yeah, when you threaten someone and say, I'm going to fuck you up, yeah, in my language, you have to fuck that person up.
Yeah.
Because he's thinking you're going to fuck him up.
You don't say it.
You don't say it, just do it. Yeah. Just go on with it.
And also now, if I see a Somali brother getting banged up on the other side of the road and I'm walking this side, I'm going there. You understand? I might get hit, you know, something might happen to me, but, you know, in our culture, we don't care. You know, if we see one of us getting hit, we join. You know what I mean?
Wrong, actually.
Plus, you know, it's wrong, but this is how we've been raised up. I might end up in jail. That's why I say to you, free all the brothers in jail. Because most of them are not in there because they created the problem. It's just someone else created and they just joined, and this is where they end up.
Okay.
You understand?
I understand now.
Like also, you know, like there's no tolerance. You know, like, you know, if someone now calls you in other cultures, if someone calls you like you're a nigger. You know, someone calls you nigger. A lot of brothers are in jail because someone called them nigger and they beat them.
They just went off straight away.
There's no like pulling back. You know, say listen.
Okay.
You know, instead of like, you know, like saying something back, they just use their fists.
Just go straight in.
You understand?
0 to 60, 3 seconds.
For us, we have, you know, like a way of talking back. You know, that's all we can do. You know, if someone chat shit to us, we chat shit to them. Yeah. But when they start hitting, you know, that's when we hit back.
Okay.
See these brothers like in jail, yeah. If you check, 90% of their fathers are dead. So there was no father figure there that would tell them like to be eased up or shout at them or stay away from trouble.
That's the same thing like the West Indian community. It sounds like dad's missing, man.
Dad's missing.
Yeah. Wow, you hear that? Well, my brothers, it's been beautiful, man. It's been nice, you know. I think it's important that, you know, we have these exchanges every now and then, and we let people know what's happening on the other side of the fence, because a lot of the time we just operate on stereotype, and, you know, we don't get to know the person. You understand what I'm saying, brother? You know, so keep on doing what you're doing, you know, on the righteous level. Genesis, greet you. Assalamu alaikum.
I will say one last thing in Somali, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
What my granddad said. Means even though you arrest me, there's no stars you can take away from me.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam.
Yeah, man. So it's been 4 months and no chat for 4 months.
No chat.
Do you miss it?
No.
You don't miss it?
I've done it.
It's
expensive.
Yeah.
How much is this?
What used to be £3 is now £70.
What?
Yes. And I ain't got time for that, you know.
Wow.
I send my money through that shit.
Yes. Hey, brother. Assalamu alaikum. Yes.
Yeah, Genesis Radio. Rashid Nix up inside the studio. People's Talk Show. Very quiet again today, but like I said, we're just dropping knowledge today. You know, I'm not really into the argument thing. I'm not in that world, man. I'm not in that world. You know, there was one thing that Minister Hillary, UK Representative Louis Farrakhan, said to me. He said two planes can only collide if they're on the same altitude. Yeah. So they might be on the same path, like you might be walking on the same piece of road, but if you're on a different altitude to the next man, you ain't gonna collide with him. So me, right now for 2018, it's just about elevating one's thoughts, you know, and just keeping it nice and calm and nice and neatly. You know what I'm saying? Discreetly. Yeah. What's wrong with this? Yeah, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. We're just winding it down nice and easy for another People's Talk Show. Very calm, very, very cool, very laid back. That's how we like to do it, you know. We're not into no hype thing. We're not into no arguing, you know. Them days is done, people. Done. Finish it. Done the argument. I think for 2018, let's just make one really simple New Year's resolution. Let's try and be nice to each other. It's real simple, you know? Let's just try and be nice to each other. Anyway, let me clear my throat. I sound a bit blocked up. Got to give a couple shout outs to people across the capital that I've bucked up on recently. Big shouts to my man Ron Holder down there in Brickstown. You know, Ron, where you at, brother, man? What's going on? I hope everything's cool with you. So I miss you like cooked food, my brother. You know what I mean? Ron's a man that I got to go and check him every now and then, and you know, as I'm riding round to his yard to go and check him and sit down and just build with the brother, I feel my physiology, I feel my body just start to relax because I'm like, yo, I'm around good peoples, you know, where I can just be myself, you know what I mean? Because all the time you got to be guarded in this world because people will just look at you and they will just carry on with themselves and carry on with themselves. But so when you find good people around you, you know, always reach out to them and let them know, oh, I appreciate you being in my cipher. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to build, we got to add on, you know, knowledge, wisdom. You know what I'm saying? All being born to understanding which is the best part. And trust me, man, that's a brother that I understand deeply. You know what I'm saying? I say it got. So yeah, big shout out to my man Ron Older. Also, of course, my brother Crapehead down there in the Croydon part of town. You know what I mean? Crapehead, aka Brother Nix. That brother, I was at his yard right through to this morning, like 9 o'clock. I was decorating at the brother's yard right through the night on the night shift. You know what I mean? Just bashing out, you know, like the living room and thing, and you know, just looking after some business for my brother. You know, so big shouts to you and the family, you, Marie, little D, you know what I mean? Come along very, very nice. Got a beautiful young daughter there, man. My niece, she's wonderful, you know what I mean? Big shouts to Jerome, currently missing in action, you know, another one of them young brothers, aged, you know, like in his early 20s, and just, you know, whatever's going on out in the world, whatever's happening out in the streets is kind of more appealing to him than what's going down in other places, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, still, give the brother shout-outs and all that, you know what I mean? Also, as well, to my people, them down there in Bricky, my old Bricky crew, Funky Mike, a.k.a. the Funk Brother. You know, there's tomorrow is James Brown's day, innit? James Brown's passing, you know? So we used to do the annual James Brown tribute show on Genesis. We ain't done that for a couple of years, though, you know? That was running every year. And Mikey was a man that always come through with me. We'd always just fling down the vinyls, you know? So all them people that ever caught the James Brown tribute show from back in the day, you know that them shows were some classic shows that went down, you know. They were some classic shows. Anyway, People's Talk Show, myself, Brother Rashid Nix up inside the studio. Studio number is 07931 276 232. 07931 276 232. And in the 5% nation of gods and earth's supreme mathematical code, if you don't know, you best get to know. The code is Cypher, God, Born, Understanding, Knowledge, wisdom, God, equality, wisdom, understanding, wisdom, and it's all good. So yeah, just drop us a text, call in, let us know how you're feeling, let us know how you're sounding. Because we know say that this little maddy Christmas time of year, a lot of people them lose their minds, because the pressure on people to go out and consume is relentless. It's relentless, and if you don't de-link yourself from this part of the year, the implications for the following year, because you think about it, it's the end of the year and it starts the new year. And if you're out there spending money that you ain't got, putting yourself into debt, jacking up your credit card like crazy, or doing whatever mad deals you got to do just to go out and buy the new Xbox, or buy some piece of high tech machinery. Listen, Christmas, from what I understood as a youth, was all about the birth of the man they call Jesus Christ, the Messiah, Isa. And even though they don't know the exact date of Jesus' birth, what historians and experts do agree upon is that it was not December the 25th. That's what they do know. And some people say it's more likely to be September, which means that, if we're getting all hyped up over one particular date, then what's the point of getting hyped up over this particular date if it's a wrong date? Pardon me, So, let's just keep it calm, people. Let's just keep it calm, Go and exchange gifts, but simple gifts, man. You know what I mean? Go down to a charity shop or something, man. You know what I mean? Go and, don't kill yourself. With all this universal credit now starting to bite, and people of colour are being disproportionately affected by this whole thing, putting even more pressure upon us. Let's not fall for the okie doke. Come on now, let's study the lessons. It says, who are the 85%? Those are the mass of the people. Savages who are in the pursuit of happiness. Blind, deaf and dumb, obviously metaphorically speaking, you know what I'm saying? Who are controlled by the 10%. So the 10% know that Jesus wasn't born in December 25th. They know all the madness of Christmas. They know what the tree represents. They know the whole thing. But because they can make a whole heap of money out of it. So you imagine from Black Friday started, pardon me, from Black Friday started in November right through, it's just been a spending spree. And we can't really deal with that anymore, yeah? So 07931 276 232. So let us know how you plan to spend the 25th and that little period in between, Kwanzaa and all that, For those people who's on my little network of friends that I deal with, not on the WhatsApp level, but I mean real friends, that every year Rashid Nix is a man who always cooks up a bag of food, a pile of food, and invites all the people around. Bring a gift, bring a dish, bring yourself, bring your two empty long hands, it's cool, but just pass around my yard. So every single year, around this time, we just do a little gathering, and, we might get about 20, 30 people come around, nice people, very, very diverse set of people. Obviously, it's on the black level, but at the same time, I got friends from all different cultures, so my Asian crew will pass through, my European crew will pass through, my English crew will pass through, my little Yardie crew will pass through, and everyone's just there, just building. We got a call. Hold on a sec. Good afternoon, Genesis Radio People's Talk Show. You're on live. Who are you? Where you calling from? Go ahead.
Yo, what's going on, Rashid? It's MX. How are you, King?
Oh, what's happening, bruv? I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. How you doing, sir? Long time.
Yeah. I'm easy, man. I just realised that I'm obviously not one of your brethren because I didn't get that.
What? Nah, brother. I must have a dodgy number for you. You know you pay as you go, Negroes, man. Always change your number every 6 weeks, man. Seriously. Yeah, but
obviously ain't one of your homies, man.
Well,
I ain't get that, dog.
Don't get all emotional now, bruv. I got mad love for you still. Listen, here's what you do.
I'm just rapping.
I know you're rapping, but here's what you do, though, brother. Yeah, make sure that you just drop me a text with your latest number on it, so I got it locked in. And
this is my number.
Yeah. Okay, dokie. All right. Well, I'll take it off the phone.
My number, cuz.
Yeah, I'll take it off the phone. Yeah.
But,
I'll make sure.
But just wanted to bring you up or be listening for like the last. Cause I completely forgot. Well, the problem is that there's like last week there was nobody on the show.
Really?
You know what I mean, now it's back on today, so I completely forgot. I didn't even realize it was Sunday today. To be fair.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that.
Yeah, get it, and it's because, and you're quite right. It's because this whole Christmas thing. I can't. That in Christmas, you know. I can't, family. Yesterday I just needed to go. I needed some deodorant, family. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just went. I went into the super drugs now, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, why is the queue so long? I just want
Yeah.
to get a one deodorant. You get me? Because mine just ran out. Everybody, you should have seen the queue. Why is everybody in super drugs now? And in every super drug. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Everything's, brother. It's really irritating, and I think it's really bad.
Is that time? Well, MX, give me 1 second. I just got the good Reverend on the other line who's just calling me up. Hold on a second. Brother Reverend. Okay, you are live on air. You are live on Genesis Radio. Seriously.
All right. Well, blessings to everyone this Christmas Eve, and trust that you go from strength to strength and learn to love each other better in 2018.
Spoken by the Reverend. And that's how life is. Brother man, thank you for the message. Much appreciated. I will be down there like a flash.
No problems. Take care.
All right, Doctor. Nice one. Bye-bye. God bless. Bye-bye. Yeah, MX.
Yeah, family.
Yeah. No, that's that. Would you believe that as a Muslim, you, I work for what's up with this phone here? Yeah. So I work for I look after a church. That's my job. You know, I yeah. I look after what's up with this mic here, man? Mic's all over the place. Yeah, I look after a church. And that was the Reverend, you know, and the Reverend just phoned to say, yeah, listen, we got your check, pick up your check, your money's there, so it's all good, And
yeah, brother, so, yeah, this is just the madness, man.
Yeah, you saying super drug, you into super drug?
Yeah, no, it's just that, bro. I just wanted to get a couple of quick things, you know what I mean, and people are just everywhere, and it's all about one day.
Yeah.
Stupid, and it's like you said, people all right, just use your brain. If there were lambs there, like they say, if there were lambs at Jesus' birth,
yeah.
When a lamb's born,
yeah.
A lamb,
spring.
That's spring. So
Yeah.
come on, man, you can work this stuff out. But you know, people still want to buy into it, and the only good thing, and this is why I wish the community we were kind of a bit more together, kind of thing. Because the only good thing, I mean, there are some good things, and it's. What I do find around this time is that black people are a lot more willing to say hello. You know what I mean? Or wish each other a Merry Christmas. Everyone's a bit more friendlier, which is good. And I mean, even like brothers, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, the screw face shoots that you might see every day kind of thing. And the family element that people go and see families. And this is the only time when certain phone calls get made. And, you know, it's too bad as a community that we can't just pick another day in the summer, in the summer, and do this exact same thing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's these kind of things we need to work on as a community, but we'll get there. How's the what's it called? How's the like the Green Party and stuff like that?
Well, if I could get this microphone to work, it's being very temperamental, you know, being very, very temperamental. But the politics is still there, brother. I'm still fighting, you know what I mean? Still doing my thing. But, you know, as I was saying earlier on, for 2018, you know, I'm looking to just change up my program completely, you know, because it's like what you're looking at within our community, there's so much madness going on. It's like,
well, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it, brother. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
I think the more strategic members of our community are looking exit strategies. You know, men are looking either Caribbean or they're looking Africa. You know, because they're starting to realize that, hold on a sec, this is a place that there was an article the other day in the newspaper, Evening Standard, yeah, and it said that for you to get a 1-bedroom flat in London it's £500,000. It's £500,000.
Yeah.
But yet still men are working jobs and they're getting paid £10 an hour, which means that you'll never ever get anywhere at all. You won't get anything. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Brother, It's a madness. You get what I'm saying? But I was having this conversation with someone the other day. Actually, there are people out there talking extra exit strategies, and it's good to a certain extent. But what about everybody else who can't afford them kind of things? Then that's why the exit strategy. Yeah, if you can afford it, sure. But that's not thinking about everybody. Everybody needs to be. I think personally, everybody needs to be thought of. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hear that.
You know.
I mean, I tell you.
We've got to sort some things out. I mean, you know, one of the big scary thing. I mean, I don't even know of like 2018 or 2019. This whole Brexit thing.
Yeah.
And I know you're a political man.
Yeah.
And what people try to do, what you'll see is that people try to make this Brexit thing about immigration and colour and da-da-da-da-da. And we know that's a distraction.
Yeah.
Because the big thing I think that's going to come is the fact that once we exit Europe, what's going to happen to our medicine and our pharmaceuticals? Our pharmaceutical industry is going to change rapidly, is what I'm saying. And it's not going to change for the better. And what I think needs to happen in the black community is them healers from the community need to kind of step forward, create something where a man like me, I can pay you £20 a month or £40 for my family, and you know, somebody gets a cold, remedies can be sent to my house or whatever. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think the future's just bleak, bruv.
Oh well, you know, if you look at it on a slightly wider level, and you raised a very, very valid point there about health. You know, we live in a system that deals with something called crisis capitalism. So basically, what that means is that this system will never miss an opportunity to make a money. You know, so they'll make money out of you from the womb to the tomb, and you're worth more to this country as a sick person, because they get their money from the treatment. That's how they make money. You know, they make money out of prescribed.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. You know, like for example, to keep one man locked up in a secure unit down at Moulsey Hospital, it's £250 per night to keep one person in Maudsley. That's like nearly $1.50 a week, brother. And you think, you know, and you think, but hold on a sec, these men they're not even getting well. You're just treating them for about a month while they're in a section, then you just roll them back out into the street, and they're still mad. Like they ain't changed. They're just mad, but now they're on drugs. Like they're on prescribed drugs.
Brother, I mean, man doesn't want to talk out the rest of your time, but this is a field of work that I know a lot about because of what I'm doing now, innit?
Yeah.
So in terms of like the mental health and all of this stuff, you're 100% correct. The numbers. I mean, the NHS spends £66 million a year in Lambeth alone.
Okay.
66 million, and when you think about the service user cohort, which is the people who this money supposedly gets spent on, a lot of it gets spent on us, you know, brother.
Yeah.
So you're talking about probably up to 50 million gets spent on black people alone.
Yeah.
And for us to have keep getting these poor outcomes, we're still in the services for longer than anybody else. Because, like you said,
all right,
we're still walking around crazy.
But if you check it though, top man, if you check it, maybe not want to be all kind of conspiratorial, but maybe we're supposed to be in the system on that level. So we're just in and out of the system. We're just in and out of the mental health hospital. We're in and out of the prisons, you know, and that's it. That's our role within this society. Our role is to be the bottom of the pile, and you know, they're qualified psychiatrists who are earning £100,000 a year can get their money by misdiagnosing our mental illnesses and prescribing us even more drugs. And they collect £100,000 a year, and all we get is more hell, and that's it.
I wouldn't say that. Okay, maybe that is their idea of where we should be. That doesn't mean to say that we have to, because they say jump. That doesn't mean you have to jump.
True that.
Yeah, we don't. As a community, if we were more caring of each other, then, and if it was more, if mental illness wasn't such a taboo subject in our culture, which it is, then our brothers and sisters will not end up in these services.
For real.
If at the first point you realize your nephew or your niece or your son, your daughter wasn't behaving well, and you had a conversation with them, and you knew how to, you were educated enough. I'm not talking about went to school, degrees. I'm not talking about that kind of education. Just education on mental health, what can trigger it, what questions to ask. If we had more general education around mental health, we'd see those numbers drop.
Yeah, of course,
as a community,
of course.
We have to look after ourselves.
But then if you check it though, and this is what it really boils back down to again, is that the only people, and this is something that my sheikh said to me, years ago. I remember I went to visit him when he was on his deathbed, and he said to me that the physicians will administer the drugs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the community or the family has to administer the healing, and that basically means that we have to do the work. We can't be waiting for the NHS to solve the mental health problem in the black community. It's not going to happen.
There you go.
We can't wait for the Department of Justice or the Ministry of Justice to solve the problem of the high incarceration rates for black males. They're not going to solve the problem.
This is it, family.
Not when brother, check this one. Not when you got companies like G4S and Serco that are listed on the stock exchange, that are multi-billion-pound companies that are making money off of dealing with people that are quote unquote security risks, that are that are criminals. They make money out of criminals, and they need criminals. They just ain't locking up each other. They're locking up us.
Exactly. They know that they can make the money off of us, and that's what we've got to realize, that we don't want them to make money off of us. Therefore, we need to stop getting these young people involved in crime and uplifting these idiots that are promoting this kind of stupidness to our children.
Yeah.
But before I close,
bro.
Did you hear that they're trying to take away what's his name, Dr. Umar Johnson's license?
Really?
Yeah, there's a petition online. I don't think people should sign. I don't like Dr. Umar Johnson, so this is great news for me.
What do you mean they're trying to take away his license? What license? What, his driver's license? What license? His TV license?
Whether he's a psychologist or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're trying to revoke it right now. There's a petition online.
What
stop them from? He's been taken to court and them thing there. You know what I mean?
What, in America? Yeah.
Yeah, in the States. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, anyone can sign it, but I'm not on the radio saying people signed it. No, I'm just letting the people know this is happening. But Dr. Umar Johnson is an idiot anyway. So good news.
So what did he do for them to take it to that level, to say that they're taking away his license? What did he do?
Bob, I'm not really into the American news or anything like that. So
right.
I know what he's been accused of, but I know there's been a lot of talk in regard to the funding, the money, because he put out, because he's on Twitter, so I follow his tweets. And he put out a thing saying he's happy to refund anybody that's invested in his school that he's been building for the last 6 years or whatever, or supposedly been building. He's happy to refund any of the money that has been, because people keep asking, well, where's the school? He's happy to just refund everyone their money and go about his business. That's what he's saying, because he's tired of it. But people have been asking for a minute, where's this school? Do you know what I mean? It don't take you that long to build a school.
Yeah. Okay. I found a couple of stories here about Umar. It says Dr. Umar Johnson under investigation for license validation. This is from December. This is from yesterday. So this is fresh.
Yeah. It's news. It's fresh news.
Okay,
fresh
right.
News.
Thank you for that.
I'm not going to come here and tell you some old news. This is not history today.
Okay, I'll read a little bit of it. It says Dr. Umar Johnson is under investigation for a re-examination of a license in the field of psychology in what he claims is a mere attempt to seize his credentials. On Thursday, Umar Johnson took to his social media in an Instagram post that caption accompanying the notice. He writes, this is quoting from Dr. Umar. He said, "Sometimes I ask myself, why did I start this campaign? I'm ready to return all the donations and move to Africa. In an effort to give our boys a school they deserve, I've had countless coons consistently harass white people in the power structure until they've decided to strip me of my credentials, arrest my fund and audit me. Hundreds of phone calls to my degree-granting institutions, harassing them about my credentials, the same questions over and over again on every radio show, countless social networks and jokes, campaigns to diminish the credibility of the one man black parents can count on to assist for free with saving their children from the mental health and miseducating systems. This is the thanks I get for helping to save a generation of black boys. On top of all the big trails, I've had my own father join in on the fun. This Kwanzaa tour will be my farewell conscious community tour for a while. I'm taking a break from social network as well. I need to take care of me now. I will keep pushing for the school until my detractors successfully kill that campaign also. Whether we succeed or fail, just know my intentions were honourable and I tried my best. This is another victory for the mentally enslaved. And it says, and it's a copy of a letter there. And so it seems like he's on the ropes. But, you know, I think that the thing with Umar, what he did was that the amount of money that was raised, when you look at the situation, the housing situation in the United States right now, yeah? After they had the crash in 2008, 2009, when all them homes are getting repossessed, there's certain places where you can get buildings like stupid cheap, stupid.
Oh, of course,
you know?
Of course.
And then so for him, it's just obviously if he wants to build his school in Manhattan, yeah, or Beverly Hills, it's gonna be expensive. Yeah. But if he decides to go down to Atlanta, go down to Georgia, you know, he can get something just outside of Atlanta. He can get the spot. It is so I don't know where all this money's going because we ain't seen no school.
Gary, what's it called? Was it? It's in Detroit. There's a place called Gary or something like that, or Gary, Illinois or something.
Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. Indiana, that's it.
Yeah,
right. Go down there. I was watching something on a channel called Vice, innit?
Okay.
They're basically just giving away flats.
Yeah.
I mean, housing.
Yeah.
Big complex. He could fix one of those up with the money that he's got. But that's why, you know, he's been dragging his heels. So this is why this is happening. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you know? did you ever see the and for any of the listeners, there was an interview that took place on what's the guy's name? Roland Martin. Did you see that when he had Umar on his show and he tried to set him up and he called like 3 other people onto the show and they was gunning for Umar and like yourself.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Hey, you need to watch that because I'm not really a fan of Umar. Yeah, I'm not really an Umar fan. But when I saw that interview and the way they set him up, I was rooting for Umar. I was like, go on, brother, put your foot in their ass. Because they came after him and I thought, what's he done to upset this set of black people and the way they come after him? And it's unfortunate because, you know, we spend so much time pulling each other down whilst in reality, we could be building each other up. So Umar left himself open for attack. You know, he knew what was going down. He knew what was going down, and he didn't play it right. So Umar, do your thing, bro.
What I'm saying, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, we spend a lot of time pulling each other down. Supposedly, I wouldn't agree with that sentiment. It's just that every now and again something happens, and one of our leaders get questioned. And it's their actions that get called into question because they haven't done what they're supposed to have done. He should have built this school a long time ago.
Yeah.
So because he hasn't done it, people have begun to question. I don't think it's actually people pulling him down. I think it's more of people have a right to ask questions. You know what I mean? It's been a minute now.
Yeah.
So when I think I do know which was is that the one where he called somebody a coon?
Probably. There was. So it starts off with Roland Martin, who's this brown skin kind of roundhead brother, and Roland Martin really played himself off as being that Negro. You know, I was like, rah, Roland, I didn't know you was that deep, because Roland really just played his hand, and then what Roland did was that. You know, he's interviewing Umar. He's trying to fling couple rocks after him, and Umar's just knocking him out the park like, "Yo, brother, you know." He's just getting through it. And then next thing you know, Roland's just said, "Okay, I've got a couple guests," and then he's like 3 other people, and they all start gunning Umar, and it was like, "Rah, you've set this brother up," and that's what I didn't like about it. It was horrible. It was just really, really sad to see. And after that, I lost maximum respect for Roland Martin. I never watch anything from Roland Martin again. Never, ever. But my respect for Umar kind of went up a bit because I thought, you know what? At least he defended it for the people. You know what I'm saying? At least he defended it. Anyway, but yes, yes, the finance,
family,
the finance, yes.
Have a good little festive period and all the Genesis listeners.
Did you say Galaxy?
I was about to say Galaxy, but even them, I mean, I don't care. You know
Yeah.
Everybody have a good little festive time. Celebrate Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. You're celebrating Christmas, happy Christmas. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's cool.
Everybody just do your thing and let's have a productive 2018.
That's a blessing. All right, and I'll take your number and I'll invite you over. Come over, man. Bring a friend. Yeah? All right.
All right, family.
Top man, bless up. Yeah. Peace. One. Yes, so there you have it, brother MX. Hopefully MX will find himself back down in the studio at some point, holding down the microphone because, he's one of them younger bloods that I'm like, yo, it's your time, brother. Step up to the plate. It's your time now. You know what I mean? We've been holding down Genesis Radio for a long time now. Man, I think I've been on Genesis like 15 years. Oh my days, 15 years. Wow. Anyway. We have got a few minutes left. Maybe I could run one final interview. Let me see. What can I run? You know what? Brixton Soup Kitchen. Definitely. Then again, maybe not. We got a caller. Good afternoon, Genesis Radio, People's Talk Show. You're on live.
Hello, I know you said you're going to play a tape here, but I don't want to interrupt you. I just want to give you a quick message. You see that buddy you're talking about, Roland Martin?
Yeah.
Who's interviewing now Umar Johnson, yeah?
Yeah.
You know that they've now sacked him. They've cancelled his show.
Is that right? He deserved to get sacked. It was terrible.
But here's the joke. But the thing is, yeah, even though you follow the rules and you do the master's bidding, look how they treat him now.
Well,
sack him.
Well, it's like it's when people don't fully read history and understand what happens. You think that you're in, and you play the part, and you think you're in, and just when you thought you was in, boom, they fling you out the door.
Yeah, man.
And it's like that. You served your purpose. All right, see you later. Go. And him trying to body Umar on his show, that was his purpose.
Yeah, he did him away, man.
Yeah.
What he tried to do him away.
Yeah.
And Umar composed himself, like, so that it's like you was talking about like strategies of communication. Like one thing the younger generation should kind of adopt is like controlling emotions.
Yes.
Because Umar was put under heat.
Yes.
I remember even when you look back on some of Malcolm X's conversations, they put Malcolm X under some heat. And he was always composed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just over some of Malcolm X's old interviews when the Europeans were interviewing him, trying to tear him up. He sat down. He was always composed. So Umar had that same kind of strategy.
Yeah.
The interview. But yeah, that's what you want to call it. Oh, and one more thing is like there's a young girl that was killed in America, called Kanika Jenkins,
Okay.
Have you heard of Ali Muhammad?
Ali, is he the doctor from Nation of Islam?
Yeah, I'm sure he deals with like health, but he's also dealing with the Aboriginal.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's a great brother.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Very intelligent brother. But the only thing I disagreed with him was like when he took up the case of Kanika Jenkins.
Okay.
And he done quite a few good lectures breaking down like who did it, how it happened, and so on and so on. But the last lecture he had, he was charging $20 to $49. to go to a serious thing, man, and to go to his website, on Patreon. Patreon is a website where anybody can log into that Patreon website, and you can do like your lectures and so on and so on. People log in, and you can charge them. You know what I mean? So he's telling people to go to the Patreon website and pay for whatever for the viewing. And he's now stepping away from the case.
Okay.
Which is sad because he was one of the brothers out there he broke it down intellectually. Not using no big words, it's just like plain and simple words and people saying, yeah man, this brother, you know what I mean? And it's sad that he said he's now stepped away from the thing.
Wow.
But it's sad that he was even charging people to listen to the last lecture.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's kind of going on right now out in America.
Seen. Yeah. I was gonna say, brother, the thing about America, like if you ever been out to the States,
I've never been to America, man.
Okay, one thing about like Wu-Tang Clan said 20-something years ago, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. So what happens is that people, you know, they see an angle, be it health, be it consciousness, whatever it is, and they'll be like, you know what, I'm attach a little financial swerve to this one. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that Aleem shouldn't get paid for doing what he does, because enough times, you know,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But $5.
Yeah. Even, but the thing is, what he should have done was like, because the mother has already got a solicitor.
Okay.
Yeah? But what he should have done was like contact. He tried to contact the mother already. Yeah, many times. But what he should have done was like submit like some kind of like some kind of papers to the mother. Say, yo, if you take this up, I can deal with the case. I think he tried to do that, but she didn't want to. You know what I mean? You know, want to deal with him. But what he should have put a case in. Listen, we've got a strong case, and we can deal with it. You know what I mean? Rather than doing like a YouTube, charging people a YouTube lecture. You know what I mean? Or even ask the people, say, listen, I want to do one last lecture. Are you prepared to pay?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, there's strategies, but I ain't dissing him because that brother's very intelligent.
No. He's you know, it's interesting that you mentioned Aleem, because I was watching couple Aleem talks this morning actually. You know what I'm saying? And I hadn't watched Aleem for years. You know, and he whatever he's on, the Aleem that I saw watching last night on YouTube from like last year and the year before, that brother for his age, the man looks. You're like, that brother's about 42 years old, but Aleem's got to be pushing. He's got to be pushing. He's pushing 70. He's definitely pushing 70. You know.
You think so?
Yeah. Because he's been in the nation for about 45 years. He's been in the nation.
Are you talking about Dr. Ali Muhammad?
Yes. Same brother. Okay. Yeah, he's pushing 70. Don't make that man fool you. He's not 45 or something. He's pushing 65 at least. Okay. But when you look at him and you see him, you think, rah, whatever that doctor's on, I want to be on that what he's on, because whatever he's on, he's looking really well. You know, he's looking really, really well. And you realize, you know, and he says it's your diet. You know, we got to get away from some of these slave food. We got to break away from it, because the diet is killing us. Imagine, my brother, we're here talking consciousness, yeah, and there's people that's listening to this show, and then the show finished and they'll go down to whatever dollar chicken or whatever Morley's, you know what I mean, and they're going to buy 6 wings. I'm not saying. I'll be honest. Even during the week, I was sitting down with a couple younger bloods. We was chopping it up, reasoning on some stuff, and then as we finished the talk in Camberwell, I was like, "Yo, I need some wings," and I hit the Morley's in Camberwell Green, and they had some wings in there. I was like, "Right, these wings taste nice."
The reality, man. I was gonna cut you up just now to say the same thing. Say, boy, later I might even go and get a few wings. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
It's just reality.
Yeah.
But as long as the people them take a little wash out.
Yes.
Not too much wash out. Drink your water.
Yes.
Go for a walk. Go for a cycle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Go for a doctor's checkup.
Yes.
This is no joke. People is popping off. People are dropping off everywhere.
Yeah.
You have to look after your health. And earlier on, you mentioned talking about the weed. Yeah. That's why I had to stop smoking the weed, because there's a lot of young brothers thinking they can handle it, and you can't handle it.
Yeah.
Because they've intensified it. Was it the THC?
Yes, the THC. Yeah, brother.
They've intensified it 10 times stronger than what we used to burn 10, 20 years ago.
At least. It's at least. Yeah.
You know, so all the little young heads out there think, yeah, boy, I can handle it.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro. It is strong stuff what you're smoking.
Yeah, brother.
So, you know, over the Christmas season, you might want to link up with your brethren and so on and so on. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
You know what I mean?
You done know.
You drink your water as well.
You done know. Listen, my brother.
All right, brethren, that's what I want to say.
All right, before you go, caller, can I just make one request? This is between me and you, but for all the listeners, yeah. For 2018, as we get back into the new year, as you know, things get back to normal, I beg you, go and book into your doctor for a prostate check. Yeah. Just go and get the check. Because I lost a couple brothers to the same thing, and you know, let's just look out for our health. You know what I mean? All the conscious talk, the history of Africa, the secret of melanin, the whole. It don't mean nothing if we're not healthy. So let's go and do with our health.
One last thing, as you mentioned, that one last thing. I remember went to a Layla Africa lecture a few years ago.
Okay.
And one of the things he said in the thing, it stood out in my head till today. He said, You're of no use. You're of no use if your health is not in order.
Yeah.
You're of no use to anything or anyone.
Yeah.
You're talking about revolution.
Yeah.
You're of no use if your health isn't there.
Yeah, it's finished.
You know?
It's finished, yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want to say, yeah?
All right, brother. God bless you, man. Big up, big up for, big up for 2018, yeah? Take care.
Yeah, you too, bro.
All right, bless. Nice for the call. Yeah. And that's how we run it on Genesis Radio. We're just winding it down. But you know what? Because I got here late today, alhamdulillah, and I'm waiting for the big man to come back, I might run over, you know what I mean? And so if you want me to run over, just drop us a little text and say, yo, Rash, run over. If I don't get 10 text messages telling me to run on, I'm going to run out. I'm out the door like I done thief something. I'll give the studio number again. It's 07931 276 232. 07931 276 232. If I don't get them 10 text messages in the next couple minutes, I'm out of here and you're going to miss me when I'm gone, baby. I'll tell you that. Woo! Anyway, be careful of who you move with because dangerous people out there. Dangerous people.
They trying to play a nigga for the herb. You know what I'm saying? They find out nigga MC. They want to be all up in the videos and shit.
Okay, I can't even play my little brother track. Good afternoon, Genesis Red. Oh, who are you? Where you calling from? You're on live.
Yo, Rashid, run on. That's for me. Just a quick information.
Yeah.
You see, you talk about Morley's
Yeah.
and thingy.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this phosphate thing in doner kebabs?
I don't eat doner kebab, but I can imagine the amount of shit they put in them things, man. So yeah, I said shit. That's right.
The phosphates. Now, can you imagine the amount of things that they put in those chickens, and now the burgers as well, and the fact that now pork was found in halal burgers, allegedly, if I heard this right on the news, that pork was found in halal burgers.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine now that the things that they put in, now the European Union was going to ban phosphates in doner kebabs, because what they do is to put doner kebabs better, they put the phosphate, you know, the washing up, kind of, not washing up liquid, like chemical, yeah, used for washing up our clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you imagine the amount? Now, some of these silly people in Germany, it's not in France, it's in Germany, the Turks in Germany, no one stood up and outcried and said, we want this phosphate stopped out of our doner kebabs. I don't care what you do, how you do it, but when you cut the meat, you know, they could find other ways of doing it. No, they have to put phosphates in there to put the meat so that it doesn't go off or whatever. What kind of crap is this? And do you know what? The MPs, obviously, like a jury, they jurized, and there was more votes for phosphates than against phosphates. So can you imagine now, no one in Germany actually stood up and said, we want this phosphate out. You know, because the Germans already, they love their doner kebab and everything. Yeah, the Turks know about this stuff. And nobody, you see, this is how stupid our community has been as well. Our community has become as bad now. Yeah, and I talked about this with the barber. And he said, yes, it's all gone on the carpet. Regentrification is happening in the Turkish community. Spies are in the Turkish community. Informants are in the Turkish community as well. Agents are in the Turkish community. They're mashing us up. You know, one more, and there's no Turkish stations that does talk like you do. So you lot are the nearest common denominator to me to address these things, what goes around the Bangladeshi, what goes around Asian, what goes around things, because what I see is what I see. And I see many people head into these chicken shops, you know, and what happens now? They start to prove now, rats in the chicken and everything. I mean, what the hell is going on? I'm going to leave it there. But Real Rash, carry on, that's on me.
All right, mate.
So
that's
put
cool.
it as one.
That's cool. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
One.
Thank you very much.
First one.
Yes. All right, God bless you, my brother. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Like I said, 07931 276 232. You drop me a text saying, yo, Rash, please don't go, man. If not, I'm out of here, man. I'm cold like that, you know. I'm one of them cold brothers, man. Seriously. Yeah. I promise you the world and won't deliver. A broken heart is what I give you. Anyway, Roland Martin, yeah, he's been dropped. He's done. He's finished. Show cancelled. All over. Roland Martin lashes out at CNN after being axed for never getting his own show. A racist, even a roly-poly one, blames everything bad that happens to him on racism, while proclaiming any good things to be a result of his inherent intelligence. Roland Martin lives the first and has none of the latter. Roland has learned well from his lib mentors. Nothing is his fault. So far, all we've seen on the MSM TV outlets are black men and women parroting the following tired, worn-out liberal mantra of the cards are stacked against you. You can't make it in America, and you battle latch onto government assistance because those mean, evil white men are out there conspiring day and night to keep the black man down in chains. Don't you love how these 1%ers talk about how impossible it is to make it in America? The fact that viewers can't stand him, racism. The fact that he's an abomination, racism. The fact that he's ignorant, racism. The fact that he was suspended for making anti-gay slurs, racism. CNN got every inch of milk out of this sow before they put his ass out to pasture. Yeah, if only we could all be so unfortunate. Let me educate you on Roland Martin. 1. A real black man refuses to blame all his problems on a white man. 2. A real black man refuses to make excuses or hide behind false accusations of racism. 3. A real black man refuses to divide this country by race because he's a real American. 4. A real black man also realizes something else, Roland. If he refuses to get off his butt and decides to remain a victim of the Democratic plantation, a black man is all he will ever be. And that brother went in on Roland like he kicked his ass. And that's from a brother called Wayne Dupree, African-American Republican, ex-Air Force, Desert Storm, father of 3, who's the host of the Wayne Dupree show. So he's got an agenda as well. So all you're seeing right now is a bunch of Negroes arguing, fighting, kicking up themselves to do what I don't know, because ain't nothing happening for the mass of the people, and we're here sucking up very useful airtime on this foolishness. Roland, I'll see you later, brother. God damn.
Check it out now.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, we got a couple of texts here. Like I said, 07 931 276 232. If you don't text and say, yo, Rash, stay, I'm out here like I done teeth something. I'm gone. Seriously. So yeah, here's a text. You know me, I'm totally into open communication, so I ain't got a problem with reading out people's texts. Pardon me, I got a bit of a cough, as you probably realised. This is from 4019. A very interesting message which I will read out in its entirety. It says, Rashid, the clever West Indian Muslim, lol. Let me ask you a serious question. After seeing your Muslim brothers, Arabs, using us as slaves in Libya and cutting our people into pieces for their organs, are you still comfortable being a Muslim? That was the first text. 4019. Those crazy Arabs are just the craziest mofos out there, man. Seriously, and whatever they represent is nothing what I represent. But anyway, it did raise certain issues for me, because you think, hold on a sec, you know, you're carrying on with your bad behavior, and this is something that's been completely engineered, you know, coming from France, United Kingdom, United States, and they fed into, you know, racism of Arabs already. You know what I'm saying? And so it's very, 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 very disturbing. Very disturbing. Am I comfortable with being a Muslim? Well, you know what? A Muslim, the word Muslim comes from the word Islam, and Islam is one who submits. That's all it is, man. You know what I mean? I'm not an Arab, you know. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing, yeah? The second thing is you need to get your Mr. Head examined, brother. I need to get my head examined. Okay, that's like a little personal slur. That's cool. Why do I need to get my head examined? I don't know, because, you know, but that's what you said. Okay. You need, I don't need anything, brother. I need air. I need food, clothing, and shelter. That's what I need, according to Maslow. But, yo, you can't tell me what I need. But anyway, 4019 says, you need to get your head examined. No black person in the right mind should follow such a religion. Those Arabs hate black people. You try go to Saudi Arabia or Oman, then your Muslim self-hating self will get a wake-up call. Trust. They see you as nothing more than a slave. That's why I can never take a brother that begs to be accepted in another person's religion seriously. It's utter madness, bro. Peace. All right, 4019. Yeah, thanks for the text. Much appreciated, because, you know, I can see that you put together a lot of words here. You know, a lot of words. A couple typos, but that's just me being pedantic, okay? But anyway, so to deal with it, if we talk about black people from the West, yeah, becoming Muslims, let me drop a couple little jewels on you, 4019, and for anyone that's listening. There's a man called Malcolm X. Right. Now, if any of the listeners to this station have not heard of Malcolm X and what Malcolm X stands for, then go and do a little bit of research. Malcolm X was a Muslim. So if you're going to attack Malcolm X for being a Muslim, then what I suggest you do, rather than you attack the brothers for being a Muslim, you go out there and you produce some work of a certain quality, which then puts you on a level where you can start to challenge people by what they've done. Not by you sitting at home, sending off a little text and criticizing. Get into the street, go and do some work and produce something. Yeah, so there's Malcolm. That's the first one. Then on top of that, you have a man called Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali passed away last year. They said Muhammad Ali was the greatest. And what Muhammad Ali did for us as black people, remember, Muhammad Ali was a Muslim. Yeah? His name, Muhammad Ali, given to him by Elijah Muhammad. And this is a man who traveled widely across the Arab world and the Islamic world. Now, if you're telling me that Muhammad Ali should have renounced his religion as a Muslim, then I'm with you. If, however, and he should have gone back to being Cassius Clay. But if you look at the growth from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali, and that's when he embraced the religion of Islam, then you can see a growth taking place there. Just because I'm black and I'm a Muslim, it doesn't mean that I want to be an Arab. If you see me on the road, there's nothing about me that will make you realize, okay, well, this is what this brother deals with. That's on that level, yeah? So I'm not one of them brothers who wears a dress and who tries to out-Arab the Arabs. I have Arab friends, I have Somali friends, I have West Indian friends, I have West African friends, a lot of whom are Muslims, some of who are Christians. You heard my reverend from the church where I work at. I look after a church. That's my job. I'm a Muslim. I look after a Christian building. So I don't really have problems with people in their religion. I'm not going to get caught up in your religion, yeah? That's another thing. But then on top of that, I'm going to give you a little history lesson, 4019. A couple years ago, my family come from Barbados, yeah? So a couple years ago, I'm in Barbados and I go on a tour, what they call a cultural tour of Barbados. Because, you know, Barbados is all about sand and sea and sun, innit, really? And that's it, you know? So you go on the beach, you lie down and blah, 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 blah. But me, I'm a little bit more than that. You know, I need something a little bit more than, you know, than the regular stuff. So I go on this cultural tour. And the tour guide took us. It was a United Nations. It was a UNESCO tour, yeah. And so the tour guide took us around Barbados, showing us all these cultural sites in Barbados. And one of the places that we visited was the oldest African or slave burial ground in Barbados. And this goes back to like the late 1600s, early 1700s, yeah. And what it was, they was building some factory, and as they start to excavate, they find all these. They start finding all these bodies, you know, and then they realize, oh, no sake, this is a burial site here. So they had to stop excavating the site, and the archaeologists came in, and you know they did their stuff. So the tour guy says, you know, they uncovered 500 bodies on this site in St. George in Barbados, and he said all of the bodies were buried facing east, which was in keeping with their Islamic custom and tradition. I'll say it again. Graveyard in Barbados, going back to the 1600s, 500 Africans buried. So these are our forefathers. These are our grandparents, yeah? Buried down in that soil. And the 500 bodies, what they uncovered, what they excavated, were all buried facing east, which was in keeping with their Islamic tradition and customs. I.e., the people of the Caribbean that they had out there in Barbados a few hundred years ago, they were Muslims. So once the man said that they were Muslims, I said to him, excuse me? I said, what did you say? He said, yeah, the people, they were Muslims. He said, originally we were Muslims. But then through the process of slavery, we were broken down from our religion as Muslims, and then we were given, the Christianity, the slave master's religion, upon liberation. So for me, that was it. Because what I realize is that there's different types of Muslims. Just like there's different types of Christians. So for example, the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, that are absolutely racist, that hate black people, are Christians. They're a Christian organization. But then you got someone like Martin Luther King, and he's a Christian. Now, I like a Christian like Martin Luther King. I don't have no problem with Martin Luther King, because that man put his ass on the line, which is more than what people who send these little picky texts in do. You know what I'm saying? So I have more respect for people that are doing the work. I'm not really concerned with what you are. I'm concerned with who you are. So 419, I appreciate the text, because it's a very valid point that you have raised. Because when you see those crazy Arabs run up and down, and some of them are racist as hell, them mad ISIS crew, them Al Qaeda crew that are just, you got to think to yourself that them man are aligned to some kind of faction where they see Shiite Muslims as being infidel, and they will go and they kill more Shiites than black people. You know what I'm saying? So they are out there. I just think they're mad myself. I really think they're just mad people, because when you look at what was happening in Libya before this craziness happened, you had Gaddafi, who was a Muslim, and Gaddafi made sure that Libya was the number one funder of the African Union. That's a Muslim. Gaddafi also said that Arab women should be dating and getting married to more African men, because he saw that as being the future, because he realized that Arabs are just out to lunch. A lot of Arabs are out to lunch because they don't know whether they're coming or going. I'll tell you that straight. So 4019, I appreciate the text. It's all good, my brother. It's all good. And I don't take any offense by your question. And hopefully I answered your question. If I didn't answer your question, feel free to text back. It's cool. You don't need to phone up. It's all right, man. You can drop me a text. If not, I'll be out of here very, very quickly. And all I can say is, you have to mind the people around you. Mind the people around you, because people be watching you and scheming and plotting. And twos, as Bob Marley said, your worst enemy might even be your best friend, and your best friend could all be your worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? So in this struggle, it is what it is. The station that you're listening to, Genesis Radio, D-Row, who set this station up years ago, is a Muslim. And we're not the best Muslims, we're not pious Muslims, but we're Muslims. So the station that you're listening to was set up by a black man who's a Muslim. Like I said, Malcolm X, supreme master teacher, Muslim. Listen to Louis Farrakhan talk. Listen to Louis Farrakhan's critique of Donald Trump 2017. As a Muslim, look at the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. Look at some of the great scholars that have come on the scene. But like I said, there's always going to be them crazy, mad Arabs that are on their foolishness, and they will get theirs. That's how it breaks down, brother. That's how it breaks down. Yeah? Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Let me see, what else have we got? Yeah, so 419, that's cool. 883 says, Rashid, run over. Yeah? And Trina7 says, run on, Rashid. Run on, please. Pardon me. We shall see. Anyway, we have got what's the time here, man? 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 6 o'clock. I might run through to say 6:30, something like that. But yeah, I'll give you one last interview before I step out. Yeah? Peace. And remember, you got to mind people around you, man. They plotting and they scheming. 425, what's though? Is Dennis Rowe a Muslim? Ask D-Rowe, man. Ask D-Rowe. If you ever come down to the old Genesis studio, you'd have seen up on the wall painted a whole slew of Muslim people up there. This station was set up to teach the people the deen.
Chillin' circuit, nigga. Even if you go and take a driving course.
Yes, that's right.
Ever there is on offer, you have to work double. Yes, sir. You can achieve sometimes if they don't know it's you.
Yeah, it's true.
Huh?
That's right.
It's true. Yeah, you have to change your name. It's a heck of a thing. The things we have had to do to so-called make progress. It's true. Now look, as a people, we're going to need to express patriotism to the new world order that God himself will bring. At some point, we're going to have to make a choice. How do we want to live, and what type of world do we want to live in? And some of us are quite sick of the one we're in.
Absolutely.
And we know that there's a glass ceiling above every desire that we have. Even here in the United Kingdom where we live, this country is finding it very difficult to give us opportunities, particularly as black men. Huh? And if you notice now, they believe that they have all but destroyed the black man. Hence the reason why white men are going after our women wholesale. Because the black woman is now the prize of the destruction of the black man. So in war, they call the prize booty. The spoils of war. And once upon a time, there ain't no white guy feeling comfortable just walking with you on his own. Even not in the black community. No. And no sister would even look at a brother while she's walking through with a quotation. But now she don't care. She look at your head to toe. Keep it moving. Huh? Ask the question, what are you defending? And if we're just defending being on parole, probation, then we ain't defending too much. If what we're defending is a job outside of a damn bar, we ain't defending too much. Because she got in the bar with membership with a white guy. He at the door. Dealing with the drunks.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody around. It's that proof vest on. That's right. In the cold. What are you defending? Just on death row? Because I'm on that's death row. He's in the city in Mayfair or somewhere. In the comfort of a warm office. He ain't on death row. In order for us to make 10, 20 pounds an hour, we got to, risk being stabbed or shot. For telling someone they can't come in somewhere. But you took the job. And said you the man. When they ask what you defending, I'm on death row, baby. I'll give you a tenner. Just what I mean. I'll give you a tenner. But anyway, but you probably wouldn't work as hard for me. You put your life on the line for us. Put your life on the line for some gin, vodka, whiskey. But anyway, everybody all right? Yes, sir. I don't know where that came from, but it came. Now look. Everybody all right? Yes, sir. Yeah. The sister gonna ask, what are you defending? You gotta be defending something in a world like this, yeah? So what's the quality and spirit of being patriotic? Go ahead. Are you patriotic to anything? Sir. I am. Huh? Yes, sir. You say I'm sincere to my wife, don't you? Wow. Wow. Married women in here, you heard silence.
That was a blow, innit?
Hey, you know, yes, sir! You're patriotic to the cause of being a good wife, right?
Yes, sir. So, are you patriotic to being a good husband?
Yes, sir.
Now the window wipers have gone off. And you moved Lucy out the way. Now you can see clear. Now you can take two. The window wipers were on. And then Jimmy Cliff said, I can see clearly now that Lucy's gone.
Johnny Nash.
Was it Johnny Nash?
Johnny Nash,
I
yeah.
can see old Jezebel's out my way. Anyway. Wow. Now you can see the wife. Okay, good. So, what's the quality of the spirit of being patriotic? Its manifestation is the vigorous support for one's country or nation.
There you go.
It's not the support, it's vigorous. Huh?
Right.
Allegiance, loyalty to one's country or nation. Loyalism. Huh? That's what being a patriot is. You're not those who just abandon that which you pledged allegiance to. Are you hearing me? Huh? When you pledge allegiance, you have to fight and die what you have aligned yourself to. But most of our problem is there's nothing in our lives worthy of us, being patriotic.
Yes, sir.
Patriotism is special affection for one's own country and nation. Special affection. Huh? A sense of personal identification with the country or your nation.
All right, then.
Special concern for the well-being of the country or nation. Huh? Willingness to sacrifice to promote the country or the nation's good.
Wow.
Huh? Willingness.
Yes.
Doesn't have to kick you,
Yes.
force you, prod you, text you, email you, FaceTime you.
Come on now.
You're there.
Yes.
Huh? It's in you. Huh?
Come on now.
I don't have to threaten you with how many times you've been out this month.
50 press up. That's
It's something that you're on pause, just waiting, chomping at the bit. Huh? When you love what you do, you don't go into the office because you're getting paid.
No.
You go because you just love this work.
That's
you
right.
love what you do. Are you hearing me? Love what you do. But when you don't love what you do, someone's got to prod you, encourage you, inspire you, remind you, encourage you, threaten you, revoke your membership. Just to get your attention. I was thinking over the weekend, are hypocrites born or made?
Come on. Break it down. Come on. Go ahead.
Are disbelievers born or made?
Good question. Wow.
So are patriots born or made? Are believers born or made?
Good question.
Huh? Well, think about it for a minute.
Come on.
Because sometimes you're a little quick for answer.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Because if you're born, then, okay, circumstances will come into your life to determine what you really are.
Yes.
And you could think you're one thing, and a circumstance could come into your life today, tomorrow, and you don't handle it well. So something else comes out, which really probably is more close to who you really are. Or you can just be exposed to the wrong thing amongst the wrong people for a protracted period of time. So hypocrisy is something that is nurtured over time. When you're in an environment and people keep on dropping seeds on you and then start to water those seeds, you grow into a different growth.
Yes.
That's why you have to be careful what you expose yourself and who you expose. Huh?
Yes, sir. You have your ear.
You don't hear what I'm saying.
That's very true, brother.
Huh?
Very true.
Sometimes as a woman, you choose the wrong man. He called himself husband, but he's an abuser and a misuser. Are you following me? You're not hearing me. And even though, you still maintain, if you're not wise to get away from an abuser, they'll turn you into themselves and have you extracting pleasure from abuse. You know how much man boxed on woman every day? And the woman stayed. And because she can take a box, now he moves to a kick. Huh? And then she come to your house busted up, and then you tell her, you can come and stay here. I got to go back. She gone. And you might know women like that. They've become what? You can't call nobody a victim who accepts crap. If somebody accepts it, then what they have done is made evil fair seeming. And become the definition of what somebody has labeled them as, or how somebody treats them has become their definition. You can want to treat me bad, but I'm not allowing it. Because if I allow it, that's now me.
Yes.
And you hear what I'm saying?
Open the door.
Huh? Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
So you go away and come back next week and think about whether hypocrites are born or made. Whether believers are born or made. How many strong believers have you known who were strong and that over time became broke down and rubbish put on the rubbish dump of disbelief?
Oh, man.
Huh? You don't know anybody who was once strong on the rubbish heap?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So were they born or made? Something happened in their life that they didn't handle well? And then just went on a journey that they never came back from? We're going to discuss it today if you're patient with me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes, sir.
let's keep it moving.
Great.
So therefore, the path in which we walk is very important. The Quran says, "Oh Allah, guide us on the straight path." I think it's Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Guide us on the straight path. The path of what? Those who have smoked ganja, who have smoked crack.
No, sir.
The path of those who are wine bibbers and drunkards.
No, sir.
It doesn't say that, does it? No, sir. It says the path of those upon whom what? Thou hast bestowed favors and what? Not the path of the drunkards, the drug user, and the crackhead.
Come on, man. That's right. Not that one. Not that one.
Do you need it to say all of that? No. Or is it implied?
It's implied.
It's implied, right? Not the path of those upon whom thy wrath has been brought down, nor of those who what?
Go astray.
That means they're upon it one time. So were they born or made?
Come on now.
And a path is a very interesting thing, you know.
Right.
definition soon. But when you look at paths, they're made over years, over a protracted period. And the more people use or walk or trod that very same, bit of road, is the more apparent the path becomes. You hear me?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Some of you run, there's a pathway in the park that people run or jog. That's based upon one person starting and then others following. And it created what? A pathway.
That's right.
Yeah? And when you come off the path, you got to go through bushes. That which is unpredictable. So let's do some definitions for path. A way or track laid down for walking or made by constant treading or beating. The course or direction in which a person or thing is moving. A course or action or way of achieving a specified result. There's a path we can take to get to Birmingham, right?
Yes, sir.
You can't just drive on the pavement and through people's houses. Or you say it's quicker to just go across the Thames in your car. That's not the vehicle to cross water. It's a different kind of vehicle. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
But there are set paths where the destination is guaranteed at the end. But sometimes along the path there are obstacles.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's look. Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
Now, in the book of Deuteronomy, the 8th chapter, the 2nd verse, it reads, all of the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore unto your fathers.
All right.
And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness. Very important number.
Yes, sir.
40 years.
That's right.
To humble thee. To humble thee. And to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or not. And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth forth out of the mouth of the Lord thy, or doth man live. Now, this is saying to us that the 40 years that God's servant was amongst the people seemed long to some, but it was designed to bring everything out of those who were following God's servant. Because everybody can be a good believer for a day,
That's right.
a week, a month, a year. It's like some of you followed the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You're good at eating one meal a day for the first year, right? Kahim. After a few years, you miss the biscuit. You go back to hula hoops. Huh? You stop eating crisps, now you got some kettle crisps. In the name of kettle crisps. The righteous crisps. Vegan crisps. Halal crisps. Kosher crisps. Butter crisps. Something with them frying eye. And dosing soul. The next thing you're going to say is grilled. Grilled. Just to get around the deception of self. Huh?
I'll throw them away, bro.
You put some nobility on rebellion. Huh?
Nobility on
No fact. Yeah. All of these vegetable oil. Or even olive oil.
Olive
Next
oil.
thing is coconut oil.
High in polyunsaturates, eh?
You got some turmeric in them. And that's how we circumvent our own weaknesses. Are you hearing me? By just putting a righteous label upon it. But if it only lasted for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, we would all be in heaven. You know, if being a parent was just, you know, looking after your children until they were 5, we'd all be good parents. Or just a year when they don't speak, you can change some diapers, some nappies, and breastfeed and hush, and that's okay. But when that little fella starts speaking back and having an opinion, that's a problem. Everybody all right? Put it back. That's actually when parents started. Yes, sir. But you thought you were a good parent. Look at her. Why you got your little baby? Look at her. She's having a real picnic, right? Hey, yours ain't 5 yet. Yours ain't 10 yet. You think just because you send them to a private school, they're not going to steal nothing and get expelled? They will get expelled from private school. You understand? You know, so you have to what? Parent. Huh? Do it, Daddy. Okay. You thought yours was a model child. They just ain't got a mobile phone yet. They ain't got. They haven't got unfettered internet access yet.
Come on now.
But they know what they want to search in the engine. And you stay there. These children, you think they don't know your password? They got little blue light to put over the keys. Touch.
That's right.
They put a mirror in your bedroom. A camcorder. Watch mommy's fingers. They got you thinking they're sleeping even when they're on the breast. Wide open. And when they're free, they're breaking your password on your phone. Babies who are 18 months can open an iPhone. I've seen it happen. And take pictures. I've seen it happen. They know how to navigate the icons on the iPhone. And they ain't even 18 months yet. What's that telling you? Yeah. Put 20 years or 10 years on that little child. Let's not think. Leave it right there. Are we made the way we are? Or are we born the way we are? Good question. So we're discussing path and 40 years that God gave to his servant. There's no accident or coincidence that this is the 40th year the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been warning us and working among us independent of his teaching. Now look, so why are we so easily led in the wrong direction and hard to lead in the right direction? Because we are out of tune and timing with the Lord of the world. We're not in tune and in timing or in time or on his time the way how he has prophesied for us to be. We're running in accordance with a different kind of track and a different kind of rhythm. So if our ways are not his ways and our thoughts are not his thoughts, our timing certainly is not his timing. Are you hearing me? Yes, sir. If our ways and thoughts are not synonymous with his, how can our timing be congruent with his? Now let's look. Almighty God uses delays to prepare us. So the Israelites were a slave people and they weren't prepared for war. And God knew if they went to war, they wouldn't be able to handle it. So God uses delays to get us ready for those difficult times that we are going to face during the course of our journey on his earth. Yes? Now these delays are designed to strengthen our faith and make us stronger. You know what you're like when you're expecting something at a particular time and it doesn't come. What does that bring up in you? Huh?
Teacher.
Frustration. Angry. Now Deuteronomy 8 chapter 2nd verse reads, God led us, I read this before and I'm repeating it. God led you through the wilderness for 40 years, testing you to find out how you would respond if you would obey him. Now, God used delays to test how we will respond under pressure and to test our loyalty and obedience to him. Loyalty and what? Obedience. If someone says they're with you, you want to know whether they're telling the truth or not, don't you? How are you going to test whether they're actually with you? Huh? There's got to be a challenge. But most of us don't want to be challenged. God uses delays to train us because sometimes it takes longer to remove a slave mentality than to kill the slave master. Or to remove Western culture out of us than it does to get us out of the Western hemisphere. Shall I run that by you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, God uses delays to train us because sometimes it takes longer to remove a slave mentality than to kill the slave master. Yeah? Or to remove Western culture out of us than it does to get us out of the Western hemisphere. We can fly out of the West tonight, can't we?
Yep.
The culture and the habits of Egypt was ingrained in the hearts and minds of the Israelite people.
Come on then.
So similarly, the ways of the Western world is ingrained in our hearts and minds. Almighty Allah could not bring us out of He could bring us out of the West within 24 hours. However, it would take years to remove the Western mindset out of us. Huh? So that's the challenge. It's not proximity to the devil. It's how ingrained his way is in our heart, minds, and souls. And he puts himself in deep when he makes a slave. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when the British make a slave, they make a slave 100%. He said the American devil will enslave you 95%. But this British one, he goes for 100%. Meaning, when he makes us, he intends to own us and enjoy our servitude for the duration of our lives. So some of us will be 20-year-old slaves all the way to our death if we live to see 80. Tell an 80-year-old slave going to spiritual meetings. It's a heck of a thing, isn't it? Isn't it rough? So let's keep rough. Now, Almighty Allah, God uses delays to break those habits and thought patterns that are destructive to the self first and then others. Because remember, when your bad habits ill affect only you, then that's not so bad. But when other people suffer because of your madness, then that's satanic. It's satanic. Huh? Now, through a process of training designed to break the stranglehold of the slave master out of us, these delays are designed. Huh? How do you get weakness out of someone? Huh? If you want to come to my gym and I want to replace your weakness with strength, I can't stop the training just because, you're tired. When you're tired, I want 10 more. Are you? We're in a boxing ring and it's a 3-minute round. And you're tired after a minute and a half. And you say, stop. Bang! 3 minutes ain't up. Keep your hands up. Life ain't like that. Life ain't about the world stopping just because of the way how you feel. You got to go beyond your threshold of weakness and pain. And that's how we replace weakness with strength. Children of God do not use the word can't. That's an idiot's word. Can't. You can do whatever you like, good or bad. So no one can't say you can't. Of course you can. Huh? The question is don't want to. That's the proper way. can but don't want to. Can't tell me I can't. Just don't want to. Are you with me? It leaves my autonomy intact. Huh? As opposed to putting restrictions on a brother or a sister. Huh? Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
Telling children that they can't. That's the wrong kind of language. It's not in their best interest. Because when you say can't, guess what's going to start flowing? Their creative juices.
Find a way.
He's telling you can't have that biscuit, then they're going to find a way of stealing it and putting somebody else's name on it. He didn't do it, mummy. Them yummy. They took it, but because you told them can't. All right. Now, look, everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
A major gauge to determine maturity. Is anybody in here mature? Free answer, no, it ain't. You don't know what's coming next. Is he setting me up to get jab? Is he setting me up? Yes, I am. You don't know me by now. Alright, so a major gauge to determine maturity is how well we handle the delays that occur in our lives.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So sadly, the children of Israel failed this essential test. They never made it through the delay. Only 2 Israelites who left Egypt actually got into the promised land. The whole generation. You call yourself Israelite as much as you like. If your name ain't Caleb and Joshua, then you're going to hell. Because they were the only 2 who survived or actually went into the promised land. The rest of them died out in the wilderness. So the going back and forth was a strategy from God.
Yes, sir.
He wanted to see what was in them. So he had them in the work, in the mix, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. So that what was in them would come out. And most of them said, Shama, go back to Egypt.
Yes.
I'm going back to partying. I'm going back to drinking. I'm going back to ramping. Huh? Because you're not a real revolutionary. You're weak, you need a drink. You're weak, you need a smoke. You're weak, you need a little weak woman. A little weak man. Huh? You need to teeth a little. Revolutionary don't steal. Some of us get different. Boy, the white man stole it from me. So I just steal it. Okay, 2 wrongs make a right, do they? So you're going to be a white man in reverse. What happened to your God who was Razak, the provider? What happened to him?
Teach, brother.
Huh? And isn't that Razak to the end? Razaki Renault. Allah says the wealth of the heavens and the earth, He controls it and everything between.
Yes.
So if you ain't got something here and now, it's because you ain't ready for it yet. Hold on.
Hang in there.
So they were the only 2 who made it. Huh? Only 2, Joshua and Caleb. All of the others were murmuring. Boy, I don't know why God's taking so long. Boy, I don't know who came to the meeting this week. Boy, they didn't give enough money. Boy. Pure mourning. And the minister said when people are murmuring, it's akin to having a showroom filled with cars, just with the engines running. The noise gets annoying after a while. Engine's running. You gotta turn the engine off. Huh? You ain't going nowhere. Just stationary. So are there any Joshua's in the house?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Any Caleb's in the house?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Come on now.
Some of you don't even know. You don't even know what you Huh? You don't have a determination to win. draw. Be a winner. When you got the spirit of a winner, you knock out bums daily. And you hear me? Just by your attitude. Your conviction is enough to win before you've even fought. People were scared of Tyson just when he got in the ring. That's right. And just wore no socks. Just wore leather boots. Rolled his head around. Get me. As I was in the ring, get me. Yeah. What's up, blood? Yeah. But when a man knew how to tame him, the man kept him off and knocked his behind on the ground. Because Buster Douglas wasn't afraid. That's right. And Buster Douglas was at that point in his life that he just lost, I think it was his mother. So he was like, boy, I don't care if I live or die. He was in that space. That's right. Got nothing, I don't care if I live or die. My mom's dead, you get me? My mom's dead. He was in that spirit. My mom died. He was probably hating God that because you took my mom. Don't love nobody. You get me? Because my mom's gone. He was in that space. You know, you all go through a period in your life where you don't like nobody. That's right. Every day. you know that space. That space is, I don't like you. Why are you even here? Why are you ringing my bell? Why are you calling my phone? Why are you in my face? You know that space. Buster Douglas was in that space times 10. Huh? He was in that space, I need to kill somebody. And it just so happened that I'm in a ring with some gloves on. And there's a guy named Mike in here. Huh? And he would do. So he tore him up. You hear me? Everybody all right? I know what came out. Mike didn't train, Mike didn't that. Mike, you should never need to train. Mike was Mike. He was Iron Mike. He need no training, he don't need no camp. He's gonna beat you up. Go on. That wasn't conventional fighting. It was like just whacking someone. You following me? Just brute hatred. I didn't expect to spend so long. I kind of got into it, didn't I? I lost myself. So anyway, let me get back. So when we're going through delays in our personal life, there are 4 things that we must avoid doing. We mustn't fear, don't fear, which is an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger or pain. We mustn't fret, be constantly or visibly anxious, don't faint, lose consciousness for a short time because of a temporary insufficient supply of oxygen to the brain, meaning you ain't studying how you should be studying, and you ain't in tune with God. Or lacking enthusiasm or conviction, i.e. you're feeble. Someone say the wrong thing to you, you're not coming out right. I'm not talking to you no more. You're feeble. Can't be a feeble believer in God. If you believe in God, you iron. You can have a good old conversation without taking it personal. Someone don't phone you when you're expecting them to call or do something for you when you expect it. All of a sudden you start disliking that person. You're feeble. And God has got you in the 40-year process. He's weeding you out. You're too weak. You're not Caleb. You're not Joshua material. Are you with me? Everybody all right? The last one is don't forget. To fail, which means to fail to remember, inadvertently neglect to do, bring, or mention something. How are you going to forget your mission? Wow. You can't forget the fish. You can't forget what keeps your patriotism intact. Huh? How are you going to forget what your mission was? and say you're a patriot.
Yes.
Patriots don't forget what their mission is. They live for it.
Yes.
Regardless to rain, sleet, snow, or hail. They live for the cause. They're not every other week kind of people. Every month kind of people. When it feels like it type of people. Huh? Not when you're patriotic. When you see the finishing line, that's when you're supposed to dig deep and break the record. Not stumble over the line. You're supposed to tear through the line. You understand? Some of us, the end is in sight of Western power to rule over the darker people. You don't see it?
Yes, sir.
I see it. For the last 30 odd years, from the first time I heard the voice of the Honourable Louis Farrakhan, I knew something cataclysmic was about to go down. And has been going down every day since I heard his voice. What about you? What did you do with his voice? Have not a warner come amongst you? Huh? A reminder? A warner? What do you do with the warning? Don't ramp with the warning. That's your ticket out of this mess. Whether you're young or my age. Whether you're young or you're young. Young or younger. Everybody all right? Young or younger. Everybody all right? Hey, I'm going to go down in history as a man who enjoyed his service to the Honourable. I'm going for that award. The happy preacher. Huh? Happy representative who the enemy hates. You see the mess, that's why he looks so beautiful and radiant. You don't worry about the white man and what he calls his power. He know the enemy ain't got no power. Apart from the power we give him by our foolishness. Huh? If he didn't tell you his age, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't. Huh?
Absolutely.
Man, what an honor to have walked with such a man. Like, what an honor. And that's why I don't want to cut short. You understand what
I mean? Yeah. That was something from out the archive, especially for 4019. Mr. Hillary Muhammad live in direct in action, breaking it down for the Muslims down there in Brixton, just breaking it down. So yeah, 4019. Appreciate the text and whatever sentiment it was meant in. No problem. But like I said, I'm not that person. Anyway, listen. 7 o'clock top of the hour. It's me, Rashid Nix. I'm out here like yo. Like I done steal something. Peace. Till next time. Remember, have a good one. Walk straight, but don't talk late. 2018, go and get your health checked out, brothers.